What's up, Aidens? I don't know what I just did, but I just fucked up this entire thing. The way that it's capturing it, at least. Give me one second. I don't know what I just did. Let's do... I see what I did. I see what I did. I see what I did. There we go. Is that better? What's up, Z? What's up, Weltsy? What's up, Clur? Alright. I fixed it. Still new to this technology shit, but it worked. Alright, so I didn't get a lot of the skills here, right? I'm not including the main character skills, I'm only including center and PF skills. And then some mixtures from SFs and all that, right? As, you know, the game developed, they introduced Quick Jumper to Bigs and all that. So, this is what we have. We have 72 skills. That new character made you quit for real. I would just take a break from the game and quit if you need to, right? Like I said, there's no shame in looking at the content to see how the game is going, but please, like, a lot of people don't realize how bad this character really is, and if you keep funding these kinds of characters, it's only going to get worse. Alright, so, like I said, we have 72 skills here, right? I'm not going to rank a few of them, because I'm not too knowledgeable, and some of them were kind of bugged. A good example of this is Big Joe's power post up, and then Jimmy's post up. Or is it power post up? This shit? Oh, fuck. I see. Hold on. Can I change this? Alright, so let's just say not enough info. Alright, so yeah. So Jimmy's passive says that it does increase the chance of this. But then this skill also says that it doesn't increase the bump chance on it, but Big Joe apparently knocks character down inside this. Like, I'll load up threes while I'm talking about this stuff. You see what I'm saying, but it's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird skill, so I'm not gonna rank that just yet. What else? There was one more skill here that I couldn't rank yet. Stealth alley-oop. That one I can't rank. Just get them out of the way right now. And I think we are good. Alright, so anyways, we're going to start off with A-Pass. So if you want to voice your opinions on this, you can, right? But I think that A-Pass is a relatively balanced skill. I think it's pretty good. Honestly, do I put it in great? Do I put it in great? I'm going to keep it in balanced for now. But I think it's a great skill to have, especially on bigs. It doesn't disappoint. You can level it up to get more speed and all that. And it's a pretty fair skill, to be honest. Like I don't see nothing broken about it. It's just, you know, it does its thing. Now for alley-oop, I think that this needs an adjustment. I think this needs an adjustment. And what I mean by that is more of a quality of life thing. For example, I'm a firm believer that if you have double clutch and you receive an alley-oop, you are allowed to double clutch. You get what I'm saying here, right? This skill just feels like it needs to be more modernized for the game so you can open up more offensive opportunities. Once we get to Mika, I'll talk more about that skill, but this is what I think alley-oop should be redone or, like, you know, modernized too. So, once again, if you give an alley-oop to somebody who has double clutch, they should be able to double clutch on their own accord. So I'm going to pull up my notepad just in case, so I remember this. So alley-oop, right, needs to be modernized. modernized for the receiver to double clutch on their own. So that's what I think. We shot music in the background. If somebody can help me with this afterwards, that'd be fantastic. All right, like I know I could not figure it out. I am too old for this, and it's frustrating. All right, so if anybody, right, you can message me or you can send me your Discord through the chat right now and help me fix this, or just have some background music. It would help a lot because I have no fucking clue. All right, backdoor cut. So if you don't know what this is a Blair skill. So I'm gonna switch to threes real quick. I don't know if you've seen this, but here. It's rarely used, and for good reason. It's not because it's ass, but because people just don't know when to pass or just not informed of this skill. So first of all, right, you need to be receiving the pass and then you do a cut in, right, for this to even activate. And there's no indication in game, right? And that's my problem with it, right? If there was like a quick time event that says, pass to this person, right? Like, press X to this person, like L1X or LBX, this skill would be a lot better and would open up a bit more usage for this skill. That's my opinion on it. I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like that's more of a quality of life adjustment for the skill. Give an in-game indicator so people would want to pass and know that they should pass to this character to get this skill off. Because remember, right, there is no communication in this game. There's no way you're going to tell somebody if they're not on your team, hey, I want to do this. Keep your eye out for this. There's no way for someone to know that if they're a random. So, backdoor cut. Show in-game a pass icon for the skill to be more used. So do you agree with that? Like, how many of you have actually seen a Blair do this or are aware that this is a skill? Because this skill just seems like it requires too much to work while the game doesn't even support you in trying to get this off. She's never seen this. Never. From Welty. Yeah, it requires a lot from the team. And if they're not informed, it just is basically a blank skill that you just can't utilize. Alright, so I think this is going to be one of the more perfected skills. Blind face up. So if you don't know, right, this is different from Carter's. This is different from Ayla's and Nadia's too. And I think they nailed it with this. So it works at both the mid and the three. And it also has a fair chance of loose balls. So if you don't know, for this skill, right, this it applies a little bit of impediment, but it's not a lot compared to the face guard that Nadia and Ayla have. And it also, like, as a balance, right, it also reduces your face up speed, which I think is fine. I think this is well thought out, but my only problem with this is that it should have been more of like if Marcel gets this, why isn't this skill updated? They did updates for floater and spin move when that happened. I don't understand why they couldn't do it with face guard for Ayla. So if you don't know, right, this only works at the three for the loose ball chance. This only works at the three. That's what separates them. And this also applies a lot more impediment at the 3-point line. So this one is stronger depending on where you are at on the court. In the mid, it doesn't really work that well, but at the three, it works pretty good. Anyways, back to the tier list. I think this is fairly balanced, and I think it should be a selectable thing, or if anything, it should be the replacement for face guard on Nadia and Ayla. And potentially Carter too, if they could do that. It'll be nice. What's up, pay up? Block and catch. I think that this needs an adjustment. And what I mean by that is that it's a very tiny tweak. Like it doesn't really require much. Like don't get me wrong, this is a good skill, but I feel like it should give some stat. You can like I'm very flexible with this. I actually want you guys to disagree with me if you think that's too much. But my thought process is that block and catch should give stat. It just should give stat. So an example of this is this P6 from Lee. Lee's P6 offers him stat whenever he acquires block and catch, right? But I think this should only be unique to whatever it's going to block, right? If it's normal block and catch, it should be limited to jump shot block. And if it's dunk block and catch, it should be limited to drive and shot blocking. Drive and shot block stat. And this would help out characters like Krista to get their jump shot block up along with their drive and shot block up, to where they're more of a defender. What do you think of that idea, or do you think it's too much? Thoughts? And it doesn't need to be level 7, by the way. It could be level 5, so you can get a total of 8. You think it's fair, Z? I'm not a wallet. It would be good, Aidens. If it's too much, let me know. Like, I think it's already good. I think it's fairly balanced, but it would be a nice change for the characters like Luther, Krista, and Big Joe, right, who have low jump shot block stat. It would give them a little bit more help on that. The only issues here, right, that like this is why I'm flexible is because of Murdoch, right? He has a shit ton of jump shot block, but in turn, I feel like you could lower his jump shot block for this skill. Like for example, if the stat is going to give him, or if the skill is going to give him +8, lower his stat by 8, so he just regains it like nothing happened. But yeah, that's my thought on it. I'm gonna keep it at like balanced for right now, but that's my thought. That's my thought on the skill. Because I don't want to add too much, but like that's just food for thought, like I said. All right, block pass. Block pass. Hmm. What do you guys think of block pass? And if it's just a refresher, if you guys don't know what it is, because it's rarely used. Whereas Big Dog. Basically, right, it's a random chance and it's also distance dependent. I think this is a great skill. Like, I don't think it should always be consistent. If anything, right, like, I think it should remain as is. If Fox, you know who should have this, to be honest? I was saying this before, right? Just to go a little bit off topic, but Carter. If Carter had this skill, man, I would be running this character a lot more. Because it would almost, like, even a chance to secure a possession like that is big. Over a Kaji and all that. That would be huge, man. So, I think I'm gonna bump it up to great. I think it's a great skill. But it should be, like, it should be carefully implemented to other characters, not like on the crazy crack characters. Yeah, there are block path cards too. Yes, I think I have them. Let me see if I have them on my big. I think I do, right? I do. Yes, I love this skill, man. I really love this skill. As a big, speaking from a guy who mains a lot of big, this definitely helped during games where I would want to play big dog a lot. All right, so let me go back to the thing. Box out master. So I think honestly, Box Out Master needs a little bit of a change. All right, so I've played Max. I've played a temp P4 Howl, temp P5 Howl, whatever the fuck it is, right? The only thing that bothers me is that it's not like I can't control it. So if an SF decides to box me out, I'm gonna be just looking like a bum, stuck in place. And I think if there was like another additional button I can press while getting boxed out to just maintain my position, it would be great. Or not great, but it would be balanced. So just to write it down here, right? Box out master should require another button to activate. It shouldn't be somebody can box you out and you're already stuck in place. Can be activated at will. That's what I want. You know? If, like, let's just say maybe I just want to box somebody out instead of getting, the box out master animation. I feel like that'd be pretty valuable. But let me think, actually. Would that be fair? Would that be fair? Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me add a little bit something else. This is if it could be activated at will. I think it should cost stamina. It shouldn't like cost too much, but it should be a consistent drain of stamina. What do y'all think about that for Box Out Master? And if you haven't seen what it does, I'll show you right now. It should be, right? Like that's the thing though, right? It should always be choice, right? So you can make better plays. Unless you guys disagree with me, right? I'm fine with that. You just let me know whether you think it's too much. I'm very flexible on these changes. I'm very flexible. All right, so back to the list, right? If I had to say, if it's not going to be adjusted, I think it's eh. I think it's kind of weird just because like anybody can box you out and you're just stuck in that animation. It fucks you up more than it actually helps you. That's the problem with it. Okay. Alright, so we agreed that it should be a choice then. Alright, now. um, Box out swim. It should be a choice. This should be a choice. Now, hear me out, right? Similar to what I said about backdoor cut, that there should be a kind of like a quick time event, right? For box out swim, there should be a button that you press to get in front of them. So, for example, right, if I'm getting boxed out, if I press R1 or R1/RB, and then I see a notification saying that I can press L1 and LB and I can get in front of them, that would be a good change. You guys understand what I'm saying here? What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that you should be able to box out by choice? And if you want to do the box out swim animation, you just press L1 and LB, in addition to the R1 for box out? It might be a little bit difficult now to think about it animation wise, but like I feel like it should just be also another choice animation. Or you should just hold the buttons. Because I'm very tired using characters with box out swim and after just I'm getting fucked because the animation repeatedly happens whenever I'm directly under the basket. Now box out. Alright, so if we're talking about the skill itself, aside from characters, this is fine. I have no issues. It's a standard skill, it's a vanilla skill. It's great. Alright, I don't think there's any disagreements. It's fine. It's alright. Now, ship out counter. I did use a little bit of this, right? I don't really know too much. I'm gonna probably come back to this. I don't know too much. So I'll show you this once again. So people are, if you just join, right, you can see what I'm talking about, right? So, see Jimmy, right? Jimmy has this animation where he does this post-up animation, right? But the skill info says that it cannot be pushed by opponents, right? But now when I look at this passive, during power post-up, low chance to knock down the opponent, right? But then now when I go to Big Joe, right, who also has this skill by the way, he doesn't have the Jimmy passive to knock people down. But for some reason he's still able to knock people down. That's what I'm confused about. So if it works this way, then I would rank it differently. If it doesn't require the passive to work. But if it just constantly drains stamina, then it's eh. That's my only problem with it right now. I just don't know. Because when I was making that list, I didn't realize that that was the description of it, right? I didn't realize that the knockdown animation was a passive. I always thought it was a part of the skill, but it's actually a passive. Maybe it just increases the chances. I don't know, but it's not in the description. The description of the skill just says he cannot be pushed back. Go back to Jimmy, sure. It's a bit funky, man. Like, I don't know. I will get to this during the next one to give you a solid ranking of it, but I don't know yet. Alright, anyways, chip out pass. I think chip out pass is balanced. I think it's. I think it. I love this skill, man. Like as a big main, right? I think it's works in a great way to where it doesn't jump above max rep height, and it also dishes the ball out pretty quickly instead of just having to land on the ground. And it's on a few characters that are not necessarily great. Like I think that's what makes this good. You know, if it's on characters that are not OP, this is a fantastic skill. On Marisol, it's fantastic, and on Big Dog, it's fantastic. What do you think the buff should be then? Like, what is the buff to this skill? Because I think it's fairly balanced as is. I feel like if you get good box out, right, and then do a chip pass, it's fair for what it does, right? Because keep in mind, right, you're skipping the whole animation of landing on the ground after a rebound. You're just passing it out. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think it's good that it does get cooked because of the reward that it gives you, right? You're choosing to do this. You don't have to do this, but the choice in it, right, is already skipping the animation. I'm gonna leave it at this because if you give it more height, then there's no reason to do the regular rebound, right? It shouldn't be just hey, I can just chip out, kind of like a Blair situation, you know. I don't want to deal with that. Instead, I'd rather it be limited to just the height that it has. Chip out. Um, honestly, it's not balanced. I don't think it balanced, or I don't think it's balanced. I might think it needs a change at the moment after what they did, but I'm not completely sure. Right. I'm gonna show you how it feels to do a chip out and how it looks also. So hold on, because this is my experience with it right now. So where's Deacon? Right. Activity, practice, rebound. So my problem with this is that it's way slower, right? And at some point, you just get a dead animation to where you just can't chip out. Like that. Like, for some reason, it just dies on me. Which way is it gonna go? Big chip out. Big chip out. Like, I should be able to get that chip out right there, but I can't. For some reason, it just gives me a weird animation. Maybe it's precise. I don't know. You know what? I don't think it's as useful, but I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Yeah, this was OP. This needed to be reworked 100%. So I think that I think that it's fine. I think that it's fine right now. I might have something to add to this later on, but as of right now, I think it's fine. It's fine. All right, crossover. I think crossover is fine. I really do. I think there's no issue with it. It scales with cards, and it also gives drive speed for other cards, which is great. Cutting. Um, I think cutting is. Do I think it's fine? What do I think? What do I think? What do I think? What do I think? What's up, guy? Give me 1 second. And yes, we can go to Stout real quick. Hold on. Actually, hold on. Guy, do you have Discord still? Add another one, or I made another one because I was talking to the GM. So if you have a Discord, send it in or text me your Discord. Text me your Discord. Quality. Why do you say quality of life for crossover exactly, Struzy? Why do you say quality of life then? Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's for GM Joy. I wanted it to be smooth for when I do the Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys don't know, right, I'm having a live stream where I'm talking to GM Joy alongside D Money and Amha. He's another creator who wanted to do more game change and balances for said game. Give me a second, hold on. Cat, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing a stream on the 20th, 6 p.m. EST with GM Joy. If you guys haven't seen my recent posts. Where are you at? All right, I sent a request right now. Easy to bump. Doesn't have the angles to it, but isn't there like a collision angle that you can adjust for crossover? I get the I get the whole waste of a card slot thing. I can agree on eh. I can agree on that. All right, hold on. Let me do this. All right, can you hear me? Okay, good, good. Let me add the source then, real quick. The output capture. Did I mess this up? Give me 1 second. Damn, I don't know what to do here. Shit. Where is it at? Where's it at? Application audio, maybe? Is that it? Oh, I see it now. Okay. Say something right now? Okay, I can hear you now. Perfect. All right. So, what do you think of the list so far, guy?
No.
You gonna read? You gonna look at it right now, real quick, guy?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I see. I see, Struzy. Yeah, I'll probably keep crossover to eh. Now for let's see, cut in. I think that this is okay. I don't think that this is the best. I don't personally use it. I'm not excited to see this at P6. But I don't think it's terrible. I wish maybe there was more distance. Like I'm cool with distance. If you can add that to like, going more into paint instead of just giving it speed.
I think why is blind face up so high up?
I
What do
think
you
it's
why?
Give me 1 second. My cat is fooling around too much. You're asking why blind face up was so high up?
Yeah.
I think
Are we
it's
talking about Nadia's blind face up or
no. This
just is this
Marcel's.
Marisol?
This is Marcel's. I think it's like the perfected version of said skill since it reduces face up speed, and it also has the chance to affect mid and three with the steal option. You know?
Okay. I think it's a little high.
You think it's a little high? You think it's balanced then?
I think it's balanced.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep it at that then.
I think it's a good skill, but like it's a little niche. There's some scenarios where it's useful, and then for the most part, it's not
It's not fantastic.
super useful. It's not fantastic. It does what it needs to do, and that's about it.
Okay,
And that's what I call a balance skill.
okay. I can agree with that. What
I
do you think
think
about cutting? Any thoughts on this, or were you gonna add more to the blind face up?
no, I think that's good. I think 8 pass is a great skill.
Why do you say
I
that?
think the I think the ability to throw the ball anywhere on the court essentially with no bad passes is like it's more than just balance. I feel like it's like almost crutch at that point. Be able to throw the ball from one side of the court to like literally from the bottom left corner to the top right corner, perfect flush pass. I feel like that's almost a crutch skill. Like it's almost like it doesn't even like you don't need to be positioned well. You don't need to have a good it's a really good skill.
I can see it. I'd say honestly, it's between these two for right now, but I'll keep it up here on the low end.
I think cut in. I think cut in's a good skill. Just everybody's so fast. So
Also, you're saying that the issue is that people are fast, and this is not isn't really
yeah,
hard too
because
much.
I mean you can cut in, but people can just walk to your cut in. It's like, and you don't even need to be in the vicinity. Like let's say you're cutting in for a dunk, you can be behind someone to get a block. So you don't like a cut in isn't even really like uh,
Do you
it's
think
kind of.
do you think it's in quality of life, or do you think it's or do you think it's bad?
I'd say it might be bad. That's just my opinion. I mean, I like using the skill because I like mobility skills, but even then, like it costs stamina. If I'm not wrong, costs stamina. Does about the same thing you could do with just hitting the sprint button, and it locks you in an animation.
So let's test this out real quick, right? Like, let's see you could just run. You could just
Yeah,
run.
you could just run.
You could just run. There's no reason to use this skill.
But it's
Does it
kind of a
cross people
bad
over?
skill.
Does it cross people over? I think it does, right?
It can, but like
Very low chance. It doesn't get too much distance though. Yeah, I'll leave this here. I think, yeah, like what is the difference? Like you could just run. You get more angles with it too.
you can also get bumped out of it. So like if you
Yeah.
do it wrong, it's very penalizing rather than just running. You'll never get stopped when you're running unless you run into someone, but then you just get bumped. You never get knocked down. Cutting is a very risky move, and it doesn't give you that much reward for the risk that you're taking.
Okay. Any other adjustments for this list so far or no?
Uh, I think it's in a good spot right now.
All right. You ready for the next skill?
Yeah,
Dash
I
tap
probably give
pass.
like my input into like 11. Then I take sleep. But
All right, that's fine. Do
so you said
appreciate
that.
you. I do appreciate your opinion in this too. So I feel like I might tweak on some of these skills. A little bit of bias. Like I do enjoy a lot of these skills. For some of them, like for example, chip pass and all that. Dash tap pass. I personally stay away from this skill. I don't like it. I don't. I think honestly, this was like I see the value in it, but going to like if I'm going to compare this to chip pass, I would take chip pass every time. If anything, right?
I
I think
think
there's
it's too clunky. It's too niche. It's too. Uh, it, where would you put it at?
I think it needs to change. Honestly, right? Like I see the value in it if there's like a wide open rebound. And if anything, right, there should be a choice in this skill in terms of whether you want to just have regular chip pass or dash tap pass. You know how we have selectable skills? I feel like this is one of the scenarios where you can choose whether you want to run from a distance to pass it, or you just want the vanilla skill of just passing it from, a chip pass.
Yeah.
But as the skill by itself, if we're not getting, like into more gameplay changes, I think that this is very clunky and I don't like it. Does anyone have any
Yeah,
comment on it? Also. So like how would you fix this? Or like what do you think it is? Like or quality of life or just needs a rework?
I think I think it might just need a rework. I think it's too clunky, too situational. Because you need to be sprinting in it, you need to be off the ball, you need to know the timing. And maybe it's just a skill issue. Maybe it's just a thing that people just have to learn how to use. But I feel like for that, you could just use a skill like power rebound, or I don't know. Maybe it'd be better on like an off big, like a small, like if William got it or something like that. And maybe it could be a little niche.
You know
But
what? I
even then,
like that. I like that
it's
idea.
it's a little because for a big, I feel like your job as a center, it's kind of just to lurk in that paint area anyway. So to have a skill where you have to run and get a ball, like you do the same thing for power reb, and if you're not in that power reb range, just don't go for the rebound. I don't know.
And also, in addition to
May-
that, like with you being in paint, right? There's a lot of times where you would be interrupted because the opponent's on the side of where the ball is going, right? So if they're boxing out, you cannot get this skill off.
Yeah,
It immediately loses value because you get collision. You can't do much with this.
yeah. I think it just needs to rework. Either rework or yeah, it's just too clunky and too niche.
Do you think you like the concept, but the real implications of it though would be nice to for a guard to have that skill? Yeah, I like that idea that guy suggested. Maybe some other maybe Carter, like for example, right? If he's able to do that, or someone like a small who's not paint based. I like that. Yeah, I agree with you, Struzy, too. It's a hard skill to master. I would agree with that too, because it also requires a different kind of timing that I'm not
I
used
feel
to.
like I feel like it's slightly also been overshadowed and power crept by Kaji's dive. I feel like the bounces you can get, like, because the way it used to work, or the way it works, is it's kind of like a pseudo rebound, but it's also like a pseudo diving catch. Like you can grab
Oh
ball
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
it's on the floor, and I feel like Kaji just does that 10 times better, which is unfortunate because like sure you can run the skill, but I feel like you need to be in a good position. You need to know how to use the skill, and then but you just have Kaji where he presses X and just grabs the ball from Africa. So it's like, why would you even learn that
Yeah.
timing and go through all that effort? It just does the same thing.
You know
So
what, Struzy? I like that idea. I'm gonna keep it at the very bottom. How would you feel if Kaji were to have that skill, right? Like aside from his diving catch, do you think it would have worked better if he instead of chip out guy or no?
I mean, I feel like it kind of just does the same thing.
It does, yes.
It would be like two skills, and it's like you would have that skill, but it's like, would you ever use that skill over his just diving catch?
It's situational. I mean, the skill's always situational.
Very, 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 very niche. But I feel like if anyone was to get it, it could be him, just because he has the speed. Like even if he does miss the rebound, he has the speed to run back to his man. And honestly, would be the only character I could see having it. I
I
I don't
think
know.
that if it was for him, it would have been fine. But that's more of another adjustment for that dive catch, which I will be on the. I don't know if I'll have time to talk about it with Joy, but I feel like that's another issue for him. like a topic I would discuss with him. Like I was going to address right a lot of the power creep skills and then the re-release of it. Like for example, a new character has a new version of fingertip block with more height. I was gonna bring up stuff like that, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be this dev talk or something else. All right. Anyways, deny intercept. How do we feel about that?
I feel like I think it needs a slight adjustment.
How so?
I feel like it's a good skill in the sense of it rewards you for getting an intercept. But the problems are you need to hold the intercept, or you need to hold face up. Face up dramatically slows you down. It the pros are you get a guaranteed steal. The cons are if you don't get that steal and you're holding face up. There's times where they'll pass through your face up and then you're just left to get scored on. Or there's times where you'll hold the intercept and you'll get the intercept, but it just won't be a deny. So it's like I feel like the skill activates like once every 3 times. I feel like it might need a little bit of a buff. And considering you have skills like dash intercept where you don't even need to be like dash intercept does everything that deny intercept does with less risk. And I feel like so does the other intercept. I feel like they kind of just do it better. It's just a little weaker. It's I think it's one of the weakest intercepts in the game. It's
So,
like
what would you adjust about it then, if it's going to be slight adjustment?
maybe make it more consistent.
All right, because
Like
like
if you're going through the trouble of holding up face up and having that good positioning, I feel like it should be way more consistent than a dash intercept. I feel like dash intercept should be way less consistent, and that one should be way more consistent. Like if I'm directly in front of my man, I should be getting the ball the majority of the time. Versus character who's not even in front, just running for the ball.
do you see my screen right now on stream? Just let me know whenever you see it. I just want to show you the face up real quick. Let's do practice real quick. Practice.
And I also feel with like the way offense is played, you have 2 ways to play offense. It's either pillar or 3 point. It's usually the way people play. It's really hard to get intercepts off those playstyles. People are actively moving, trying to stay away from an intercept like that. I feel like it's not hard. I don't know.
Do you see my screen about me using the face up speed?
Yeah.
Do you think that if they added face up speed to it, it'd be fine? Or if you just run cards, you think it'd be fine?
Yeah. Like I don't think it's a bad skill. I just think it needs a little bit of a buff. I mean, because if we're comparing it to the other intercepts in the game, which are a lot easier to use, this one is just falls behind. I mean, like, would you rather have deny intercept or dash intercept?
I mean,
Rather have
that's kind of a no-brainer, but it's also going to be placed somewhere else. I have a certain feeling about that skill. I think you also do too. I think dash intercept is one of the more needed reworks.
and I mean, I agree, and that's just I think that's the only reason. I think if those skills didn't exist, or I think in specific if dash intercept didn't exist, I think deny would be very balanced because it fits. You know, it's I don't know how to say it. It's a good area, but with deny or with dash, I feel like it kind of just makes every other skill just worse. I don't know, especially like just the regular intercept and the deny. I think I'd rather have. It's one of those skills that I'd rather have than not have, but I feel like it could still be better.
I think honestly, if there was this is another thing, right? Where I wish you could choose what you get, but I think if you just run more cards for it, that's the idea of cards. If you run cards for this, it's a fine skill.
He doesn't even get it in that showcase. He's not even getting the deny intercept.
Yeah, it's just mainly the animation
He's
with
not,
the catcher now.
he's not even getting it.
Check it. Check Fox. He has it. Yeah, let me check right now. I think it's the same thing, if not mistaken. I don't think you get more distance with this one. Yeah, it's the same thing.
But I think I think it's a good skill. I think it just gets overshadowed.
I think that it's if we were to bring up again dash intercept, right, and along with the other intercepts, I think this is fine with, or this is like a good balance for characters who don't have enough steal, right? I feel like this is like more of a tiered system, right? Like, do you want? How do I explain this, right? Like, there's some people who should be naturally better than things, right? Like, I of course I want my big to get a steal, but how could he obtain that, right? I think denies that good in between, since PGs would have normal intercept or characters with high steal can have high intercept. You know, I feel like this is a
Yeah,
good substitute, if anything. And just for that, I
yeah.
think I might keep it in balance. Like, it's not
I
a
mean, I agree
great
with that.
skill.
No, I agree with that. I mean, I think it's like I said, it's a good skill. Like I'd rather like if you're asking me like would I rather have it or not have it, I'm always gonna rather have it because just that chance to instantly get the ball is good. It's just it's not a bad skill. Like it's objectively there's nothing wrong with having it.
Yeah,
I think my only problem is that it's just overshadowed, but
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
that's kind of just threes. That's a 3-on-3 problem.
All right, now I have a lot of issues with this skill. Diving catch. Now that there's like more of a bigger problem in the game, but what do you guys think? Any thoughts on diving catch?
More.
Say again.
I think diving catch is I think it's a I don't it's not I feel like it's kind of ooh, I'm leaning toward it's a great skill. I think it's a great skill just getting that loose ball. I feel like loose balls, especially like a player who knows how to grab loose balls, especially like cow dives and stuff like that. Like playing against those types of players, you don't even get loose balls. I feel like it's a very impressive skill. That's a it's
So
a very impressive skill.
don't get me wrong. I like dive catch. I'm gonna keep it in balance for right now. I think it's fine. The only adjustment I would make, like, this is one of the skills where I feel like if you were to acquire the skill, you need cards for it to work, right? And the my
That
main
also, yeah.
my main issue with it is when I was running max, right? I think you've seen me run max before, but in the tournament, right, I'm very limited on my distance, right? Like, this is one of the skills where I feel like you should be able to select the kind of buffs you get with each level. I want more distance instead of just getting more success rate and height. Like, I could give a lesser fuck about the success rate, to be honest, right? My main problem is like there's so many other characters that have so much distance, right? If you look at Kaji or Clara, that have so much distance that I just cannot barely compete at some points whenever I'm trying to run for the ball.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's balanced. Like, I'm biased that way. I know it's coming out of a place more of emotion on it because it's just my experience with it, especially for the unimpressive P6. It's just I feel like it should be adjusted, but I'll keep it at balance for now.
I think it's a high balance to a low great skill. I think
Yeah.
it fits good in between.
All right. So why is this weird? Oh man, fuck. All right. Anyways, double clutch. I know this looks a bit weird, but we'll roll with it for right now. What do we think about double clutch? Let me read some of the comments also. Dive catch is a great skill, especially with dash steal being so good. Power block characters. I agree. Um, Great skill. Annoying as fuck since it scales with ping. I'm never picking up the ball versus someone with better ping. Yeah, I mean that's just the game too. Oh yeah, Kaji. It really depends on who. Like Cindy, not so much. It's impressive against people running double SF lineups. Not very smart. I've seen people go crazy with deny. Also, by the way, I don't know if you guys feel this also, but whenever I play 3x3, I feel like a lot of the skills there are boosted or stats are boosted by a little bit. I feel like there's some things that you shouldn't be getting. Like there's some intercepts that should not be connecting, but they do. But anyways, any thoughts on double clutch?
I think it's pretty balanced. I feel like it's a good 50-50 skill to have. It's not really oppressive. Like I feel like people have played this game long enough to know what characters have double clutch. So if you see a Joey going in the paint, it's like, all right, well, he's either a layup or a double clutch. Most likely, it's going to be double clutch. So it's
It's a
like,
good mind game. Good
yeah,
MMO.
it's healthy offense. There's nothing really oppressive about it. It's not unstoppable. You can still make plays with it. You know, it's I think it's pretty balanced. It's not a great skill. It's not a terrible skill. It's kind of just double clutch.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. No issues with it. All
It's
right.
a very healthy skill.
Blair Dream Shake.
Mm.
In case people don't know what it is, I'll show it on screen.
I think this might be a hot take, but I think it's balanced. I feel like it's guardable. It puts your character in a locked animation. Even though it's a little cheesy, it's guardable, and at the end of the day, it's only a two. You're doing a lot of work just for a two. A lot of characters can get twos the exact same way, even cheesier. I think it's pretty balanced. It can miss, you can block it, you can steal from it. It's not like super oppressive, it's just a little cheesy.
Okay. I agree with it. My only issue with this skill is not necessarily its implementation or like its design. It's more of the implementation with it being buggy with people with high ping or
Yeah,
like unstable ping. It's sometimes it bugs out. You go
if
forward, but
you're
then
not
you teleport backwards. It's it needs like a little bit of a
a little clunky.
yeah.
But I think as it is, I feel like it's not super oppressive, just a little corny. But I mean, like, is
You
it
could
more corny than floaters? Is it more
nah.
corny than Jimmy dunks? Is it more corny than Giant G dunks? Is it more corny than Sienna dunks? I mean, it's kind of just you can block it. Like it's very easy to block. It's sometimes it'll break you and you're not doing anything, but that's kind of just 3 on 3.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty balanced.
He hates the skill.
I think it's just corny. I don't like the skill, but I can't say it's a great skill and I can't say it's a bad skill. I think it's pretty balanced. I don't like the skill, but
As a big, I think it's pretty balanced whenever I do guard it. I don't see really maybe it's just the pool of players that I face that don't really utilize it to its potential or something, or maybe it's just the way it is. But I have not much issues with it. What about don't get well?
this is not a skill that I think I can properly rate because on some characters it's great skill. Giant G has the same dunk at will as Murdoch. They're the same skill, but obviously one is a lot better than the other.
Aside
I
from
mean, if you're
animation, it's just the bare bones of the ability to dunk in this game.
I
They're
mean, but
just
I think that's what it is. I mean, the whole point of a dunk is it's supposed to be more difficult to guard than a layup, but obviously the range is so different. I mean, I'd rather dunk on Owl than a Lulu. Like I feel like it's balanced, but it's just such a hard skill to rate just because of the variety of characters with it. It's not. It's like saying like, how would you rate shooting a 2 pointer? Well, it's like every character has different 2 points. I don't
well,
know
that's just animations in general. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
because like for example, like is dunk at will on max a good skill?
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it gives him control whether he can do dunk animation or a layup.
But is it as good as a dunk at will on Giant G?
Well, that's just
That's what
animation
I'm
then.
trying.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
what you're
that's
saying.
just what I'm trying to say. It's such a wide. I think it's a balanced skill. I think it just depends on the character.
Okay, I'll get into
It's
animations later on. Now that you're bringing it
that's a
up.
little that's a little bit of a hard skill to
Yeah.
rate,
All right.
but I think it's balanced. I like it.
So this is the same adjustment for when I said I'm a block and catch. I think honestly the only adjustment here I would make is just giving it extra stat. per level. That is the only adjustment, but for what it is, I don't know just yet. What do you think, guy?
For what, dunk it will or dunk
Dunk and
block
catch.
catch?
Dunk, block, and catch.
I feel like it's good, but it's just niche. I feel like there's very. I think it might need an adjustment. I think it might need an adjustment.
How would you adjust
With
it?
all this, I'm not sure. Maybe make it a little faster. I just feel like it's a good skill, but it's like even block and catch is a little bit difficult just because you're also like when you get a block and catch, you're also standing still for a couple seconds, which is enough time to get the ball stolen from, which is a block and catch problem. But then it just becomes more niche because you can't use it as versatile. Like dunk block and catch is only for dunks, whereas block and catch you can block shots, layups, double clutches, pump, floaters. You can block everything except for dunks, and dunks is kind of just I don't know. I mean, you have more experience using that skill than I do. Like, is it like something I've seen you use it like to block like howls and giant G's, but I've never been able to do that. I mean,
So
I've ra- I'd, I would rather get more of a swing animation using a regular block than a dunk block and catch because I feel like you get no animation when you swing.
I've always been against the fact that these two skills were separate because it never made sense to me that someone could take a layup and I just miss it, right? So this is one of the scenarios where I think personally, right, this should just be level 7 block and catch. You have the
I
ability
agree.
to grab that ball.
I agree. I feel like it's weird for it to be its own skill. I mean, I don't know.
I think this
Uh,
should just be a level 7 block and catch. Like just the ability to grab this dunk. I think it would give some opportunities and like life to other characters. Like for example, imagine that on Luther, right? It would be good. Like, I think it would be fantastic for Luther. That on Big Joe, it would be fantastic, right? They would see maybe a little bit more usage. I know personally, right? If Big Joe has that opportunity to get a level 7 dunk block and catch since he has high drive in, like that would be a game changer against Giant G. Because I still think he's a solution to Giant G along with some other characters. But yeah, like, personally, this should just be level 7 block and catch.
I
Not 1
agree
at a
with
time.
that. I agree with that. That would just be a slight adjustment.
Yeah, maybe a rework then. Maybe a rework because that's just 2 skills. So you know what? I'll do that. So block and catch. I'm gonna keep this here also, but just for the rework. Yeah, like a skill acquired is Druzy. Yes, I think that works well. Just rework, make dunk, block and catch. A level 7 acquisition of block and catch.
You think it should dunk block and catch should be a little stronger than going for a regular block,
So I think it
or
should
is
be.
that too much?
I think the way that it works
So I
right now
mean,
is fine. Like, like, continue. What were you gonna say?
like if like how you can block the ball, or you can jump for a block and you can still get posted. Like instead, if you have dunk block and catch, just make it a little bit stronger. Since if you have the ability to grab the ball as you're blocking it, I think it's maybe a little stronger. I think you'd be have more success for it to block the ball. But that's just an idea. I don't know how that.
You could do like for example, you can make it the level 5 acquisition of dunk block and catch, and then level 6 and 7 could be success rate. Because I know Krista has those cards for success rate.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying too, Struzy. I'll do that. Let's do just needs a rework. But yeah, any disagreements with that? Of just dunk block and catch being a level 7 version of block and catch? You just acquire it like how you would learn a dunk or something like that, basically. Just level the skill up, and then eventually, whether they choose to give you the level 7 version of it, that's how you would acquire it.
Good boy. No?
All right. Anyways, making him or going to Euro step dunk. What do we think? For me, I think. Let me relook at this. I mean, I try to use this skill, but the difficulty or like just the requirement to crossover. I understand why it exists, but like it's just a lot, especially when you're always going to be facing a Kachi. But I'm not sure if that's just like a gameplay issue or
I feel
like
like
the issue with the skill itself.
I feel like it's. I mean, it's like, why would you ever use it?
I mean, it's a stronger animation, right? The people need to be directly under the basket, plus it cuts directly to paint. With, I mean, actually, you can't double clutch out of it. It's just the animation itself.
Like, what? I don't. Why would? I don't know. I just. I'd never see why you would ever want to use this. It doesn't offer much.
I think it's more carried by double clutch on double D, to be honest. It's predictable. I like that. I like that. It's way too predictable. Once you see him going for a crossover, you can even bump him out before he does it. You know what he's gonna do. Like
Maybe if
it's
it was just a little faster, or I
a
don't,
little faster.
I'm not sure.
Do you know
Maybe
what
a little faster.
you know what I was thinking, honestly, right? So you can't do this at the moment, but if you can use the skill, or like if Double D ever had layup pass, like this would be a fantastic skill if you could just pair it with other things. But as it stands, I think it's like imagine, right? You see him going for a dunk, and you have to choose whether you want to guard him or he might layup pass. I don't know if that'd be crazy or something, but I feel like if it just had more pairability, it would work. But as it stands, I think it's
Where you can do off the Euro stuff.
So again,
I said more you can do off the Euro stuff. What if you could have like drive and pass off the Euro stuff?
yeah, like
It's
I see.
is it a drive?
It's technically a
It
drive.
kind of it. Yeah, like what if you could just pass off of it? It kind of eliminates the like instead of like double clutch, why don't you just rework it so you can just pass off of it? Like each kind of pump fake he does, you have the opportunity to pass off of it.
Yeah, maybe that's more of a Euro step thing. If you could pass out of it, it'd be nice because it's too predictable as it stands. So
Yeah, like if you like every time he throws the ball, like he pumps it, you can just pass off of that.
Euro step.
Or maybe you could also you could either pass or shoot off of it. Can you shoot off a Euro?
Can you shoot off a Euro?
I don't know. I'm not
No,
well
no, no,
versed
no.
in real life basketball. It's enough you can actually shoot off of that. But I think just being able to pass off of it would be that little rework would do
I think
a lot.
Do you think that's a slight adjustment, or do you think that's a rework?
I think when I consider slight adjustments, I'm thinking like slight stat changes, like making it a little faster, a little slower. I think that would be. I think adding a whole new skill to it, that's a rework. I think.
I'm gonna do reworks then for that. But just in case you didn't, did you hear what I said for the previous skills or no?
No.
So for box out swim, I wanted it to be where you had the ability to press it at will. And same thing goes for box out master. Like a little pop up would show up.
Yeah, I think those are slight adjustments. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're
Just
gonna keep
more
this.
you could do off of the Euro. I think opening up its versatility.
Okay.
Right, because right now all you can do is literally just walking into the paint. As
Also,
of right now.
give me 1 second. I'll step right back. I'll be right back. All right, so fadeaway hook shot. I don't
Need slight adjustment. Slight adjustment. I
slight
think.
adjustment.
I think if you just made it a little faster and a little bit more successful, I think it could be a good skill. Just a little more speed, a little more success. I think that's all it needs. I think it has a good animation. I think it's very unpredictable, but it's just also because nobody uses it. It's like skyhook shot, except way less consistent.
So
I think it just
I agree with you, but in
that's
addition to
why.
that, like the stamina cost, it's what really kills me on this skill. Like it is so
That's it.
inconsistent. Like it shouldn't be doing this much. Like oh my god.
I think just a slight rework, or not slight rework, a slight adjustment. Just less stamina, more success rate, a little bit more speed.
Do you think it should cost stam or no?
Mm, no, I don't think so. I
No,
don't
no
think
stam, right?
I, I don't think no stam would hurt it that much. I feel like it. I think making it just more success rate and maybe no stam.
Faster animation or no?
Me just slightly. I don't want it to be like so fast, but I think just a little fast.
Slightly faster animation.
And I'll do 3 more skills, and I'm gonna head to bed.
Alright, that sounds perfect. So yeah, I personally just I don't like using this skill because of how much risk there is to this. Like even when you're open and you could still miss. Like it just feels like it's always contested and it's a low chance of success. All right, Galaxy Dunk. It's in one of these two for me. Like I hate the fact that it interrupts layups. I really do, and it doesn't really feel like it's unblockable. Like it looks so powerful, but you can still get blocked fairly easy. It's like a don't get will at long range, just with extra steps or extra inconvenience. My fault.
I don't know what you would do to rework it.
I feel like it would just be like an L1 and like just give it like let have the ability to do an L1 in addition to the dunk or like an R1.
Does, does Galaxy Dunk have a lot of range?
It you can increase the range. Like hold on, let me do it in game. Like my
What
issue,
if Galaxy Dunk?
like it just like I'm
Like, why would
avoiding the
you?
chance. Like I don't like that. I think honestly, it does have range for cards. I could be mistaken. I'll take a look at that later, but just like sometimes I just want to do a layup. You know, sometimes you just want to do a layup and you just do this instead. What do you think?
I think it needs a rework. I
Rework?
think that's a rework. What if like it was a special animation? What if it activated like not instead of chance, but like uh how would you feel if this is a little like just me throwing an idea. Let's say hypothetically there's 2 opponents in the paint. What if having 2 opponents in the paint makes Big Joe activate the animation and it becomes more successful? It like encourages you not to double him in the paint. Like for example, let's say it's a mismatch, you're on a small, you know the big is gonna come and help. It'll activate the Galaxy Dunk animation. I don't know. Trying to think of something to keep it unique because right now it's just a dunk, just a long distance dunk.
Right now, I don't know. I don't know what the issue is, but I definitely say it needs a rework. There's just something there that
Yeah,
needs to be fixed.
it's just not good.
We don't have the solution for it, but fuck it. Like you know, it just needs a rework. All right. Handoff. This is a skill for Lloyd. If people don't know what it is, I'll show it on screen.
I don't know what the purpose of the skill is.
It has like a bit of an animation where you get bumped if you try to get closer to him. You can use it like tactically, I guess, right? So just in case somebody wants to do screenplay, you can do that instead. Bump them and maybe set a screen rapidly, as quick as you can. I don't know, to be honest.
I don't know either.
I feel like honestly, this should have just been like kill pass. Like I mean, like, you could just do a kill pass out of a post up animation, so it just feels like extra work. I mean, I guess you can drive to the right and left. Okay, I mean, this is cool. Wait, hold on. I mean, that's fairly fast. I don't think it breaks anybody.
It just doesn't do anything.
Does it have a less intercept chance? Is that what it is? Is that what I'm missing?
It's hard to steal from it. I remember we used to sit in the corner
Yeah, that was the
and do
angle,
it.
but I think it's adjusted now.
Yeah. Everyone can shadow steal the corner now. So, and you have characters like Kaji who can steal from anything.
I'm gonna put this in I think. I'm gonna put this in.
I don't know what to do with the skill.
Still know yet, man. Like, I mean, I'm gonna test that a bit more. Actually, I'm gonna say not enough info for right now. I'm gonna see if it actually is like a good I don't want to say
Skill.
counter, but like if it could actually be used against dash steal and intercept. Like, how much does it really affect? I don't know, but I'm probably gonna find out. Off topic, but what's the best P6 skill for the new SG? I'm not sure exactly. I'll take a brief look since it's a bit off topic.
Hard screen, high floater.
Hard screen. That's the next skill, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. What do you think of hard screen?
I think hard screen's a great skill.
Definitely one of these two, left pass or shooting touch.
I think hard screen's a great skill. I think there's very little risk, but there's very high reward. It's kind of just a skill that's just a better screen.
Is it?
I mean,
is it balance based? I think it's balance based too.
it is balance based, I'm pretty sure. So I think hard screen is just a really good skill. Like I've never don't have anything to complain about hard screen. I mean, even when I'm against it, I feel like it's oppressive, but then again, like I feel like I made the mistake. Like when I fall into a hard screen, it's like, well, I walked into it.
I see.
I feel like I should have walked around it, but I feel like it's really great skill.
I do love hard screen. Like even on Fox, like just the ability to knock somebody down is really valuable. And like you said, there's very little risk. I don't think it's OP. Like there's another screen or there's another skill here, right? Where is it at?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right, is this the last one right here for high floater?
yeah, I'll do high floater, and then I'll do skyhook shot just as a
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll
like
get that too for you. Okay. What do
so
you
I
think
can
of
get out of. All right, high floater, I think is too OP. I think it's just
needs an adjustment?
I think it needs I think it's just I think it's really corny. It's really corny to go against. Like I feel like it doesn't you don't really have to do much to counter it. Or I mean that you don't have to do much to do it. It's one of those skills where it's like a goo goo baby skill. Like it's a skill that you can do. You score the ball consistently, and it's very difficult to block. Very, very, very difficult to block. And I think it might just because it's on Lloyd, and Lloyd has that passive where he, disables the opponent's drive-in. But it's just it's strong. And it's too strong. I think maybe you just nerf it a little, or maybe you put it on a cooldown so you can't do it every single play. Like I'm fine with it if it was like once or twice. Like if you did it one play but not every single possession. I feel like that's very impressive.
So I do have a solution with this. I will be talking about this with GM Joy soon. I think it just needs like a rework. It's not like a slight rework. It's more animation based and window based. Like I think it's a bit like it needs to be reworked slightly. I don't think it's too OP, but I do think it needs a rework. Because I mean, it's not crazy on Big Dog. It's more of a Lloyd thing, you know.
Yeah, more of a Lloyd thing. Right?
So any questions about that?
I think it needs a little bit of a rework with adjustment. I think.
All right, so Skyhook shot for you now. What are we thinking
It's,
in Skyhook?
I think it needs a little bit of an adjustment.
I have no
I think
thoughts.
I think a little bit of an adjustment or like either high adjustment or low balance. I think it's a good in between. I think it's a healthy skill. It's blockable. It has a good success rate depending on what character you're on. I feel like Clark has the lowest success rate, but
So I have another proposition here, and this is something that I want to push for personally, but I want everyone's opinion on this, right? How would you feel if this was the level 7 version of Hookshot?
yeah, I like that.
So you don't get those animations where like you just shoot instead because you're trying to get the right angle, but you do a hook shot instead. Like I
Yeah.
feel like this should be a more versatile hook shot.
I think yeah. I think making it easier also for players to use might help. I think like if it was like a hook shot, but instead you press like L1 and it'll be directional.
Yeah.
But I think that's just like being a little goo goo baby. Like I have no problem learning the skill and learning the positioning, but I feel like a lot of people need to be spoon fed, but that's a different problem. I
So
think I think that's a good idea though.
so for the chat, any issues with this being the level 7 version of hookshot? Any issues with that? Like because I think that's like, more of a balance to more like it would give more offense to the paint-based characters here. Like imagine I'm a Luther with Sky Hookshot, right? I'm not saying it would be great, but like now he has a bit more distance that he can gain with Sky Hookshot. So
I'm very pro Luther. Luther having Scott hook shot. That's what I wanted his P6 to be. But
yeah,
I think it's a great skill for characters who can't necessarily shoot mids, so they can, but they're paint dominant. That's for example, I think that's a perfect skill for them, just so they can have that extra range outside of the paint. Like characters like Clark, I think it's great for Clark because he can take those long dunks and he can switch it up with a skyhook. It's great for Howl because he doesn't really have too much mid-range capabilities, but he has that skyhook shot option. And then it's great for Siana, just because she's so dominant in that dunking area. And I think it's great for her to have that mid-range option. Like more offense, I think it's a good skill to have. I think it's just hard to master and not as successful, but I think it's good to have.
okay,
But that's where I'm gonna leave it off at.
all right,
All right, but I'm gonna fuck with you, Daniel,
all
and
right.
I hope you have a good night.
You too, man. I'll see you.
Peace, nights.
What is self alley oop dunk? It's something that Faye has. I'll show you what it is quickly. But any suggestions? Any suggestions for this being a level? I mean, any comment on this being a level 7 version of hookshot? Because that was always my issue with it. Like I feel like it just should have been a level 7 version of it. Because I do want your guys' opinion on this. I don't want to just be talking to myself or guy. So let's see. For self alley oop, just in case you need a refresher, I'll do it right now. This is the same situation I was talking about dunk blocking catch him a Struzy, where like it's a level 7 version of hookshot, to where you just acquire the ability to do it from each direction. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I explained that correctly. Like I just want this, or I want Sky Hookshot to be a level 7 version to where you could see him. Like if you were to do this right, it would be level 7, and you could do it on Clark. You hit the hookshot like a plate of yams. Okay, bro. So for let's go to this real quick. Let me mute this application audio because I do want to listen to a little bit of music. But yeah, like I just want it to be a level 7 version of regular hookshot. This I think is like it's all right. I'm not saying it's not. Or I'm not saying it's bad, but like I feel like it just should have been like something that this would have been included in. I'm gonna keep it like that then, okay? Just for since there's no disagreements to it. All right. So rework skyhook shot into it being a level 7 acquisition of hookshot. That's what I want. Like, that's what I want for hookshot. Like I said, it gives more distance for the centers and other characters who have hookshot. Like it's a net positive for them since they lack the ability to do that. Yeah, trios has it. Basket trios has it. This is where the idea is coming from too. It's more fluid in trios also. So maybe a little bit better, honestly. Like a better input for it since it's very clunky, but I do like the skill. I do like Skyhook Shot. Yeah, this Saturday at 6 p.m. I will be talking to GM Joy alongside Amha, who's a new YouTuber for the Threes community, and D Money along with Pay Up. Alright, so illegal box out. This is a relatively new skill, and it's on Vandal. So if you don't know what it is, I'll show you right now. It's basically the level 7 version of box out. But you can't rebound out of it. Like your distance is slightly nerfed. Like you're stuck in the animation when this happens. There's a slight delay, but otherwise, I think it's fine. Uh, let me think. Let me think. Where would I put this? Where would I put this? Illegal box out. All right. So alongside box out master, I think that this skill needs to be input based. I think that you should be able to do this on command. Why is it? Let me see. Is it really supposed to be chance based? Is that based on balance difference? Chance based though. Hmm. I don't know now. Because if it's on command, I feel like it would be a bit much. Um, I think honestly, this skill should be. Fuck, man. Like, this is actually a tough one. This is a tough one. Because if it's on command, then you could just. I don't want you to spam it. I don't. Like, that's not something that I think is healthy for the game, just being able to spam it. You know what? I think right now I'm gonna keep it in balance. I do wish that it was on command, but it's fair. It's a fair skill. Alright, illegal screen. I think this needs a rework. I, as a max player, this shit is dog water. I think this should be input based, so you can utilize screen body check a bit more, and you don't accidentally drain all of your stamina right away. And maybe like maybe being able to do you know what? I'm gonna keep it to what I said before. Just make it input based. Like I need this to be input based and costless stam. Like this shit is it's terrible, man. I don't like it as a max player. Like there are skills that need to cost more stamina than illegal screen. Like this thing was unnecessarily targeted by this. Like this has almost no effect in game, to be honest. It affects you more than the opponent. Our inside tackle. Inside tackle, right? I want to say adjustment for this skill and also rework. I don't know how you guys feel about this, right? But honestly, this needs a rework. I think the ability to grab the ball, I think you should be able to grab the ball with this skill. Like this should be like a diving catch, in my opinion. But like with less range. No range for the skill, but a diving catch. So you know how I was telling you earlier about how I hated the distance that you get for P6 diving catch on max, right? Since it's only like 4.8. If you could have like a short range for the skill and also catch the ball, I think it would be a bit more useful. It's more of a tactical thing. Like I do see the value in it after the P7 Deacon stream that I did. Like I think this definitely has value, but it needs communication. But I also think that it should be able to grab the ball in this animation. You're already practically on the floor here. You should be able to grab the ball. Any disagreements with that? Man, I don't know what exactly now for this skill. Like I had so much trouble trying to rework this skill when I was trying to make the video for the Deacon rework. It is such a tough thing to solve, but I think it definitely does need a rework. Maybe I don't know what it is yet, but it definitely does need a rework. I used it outside of jump ball, in my opinion, right? This is very valuable against Kaji, but it's only limited to Deacon. And I feel like the fact that it's on Deacon is what makes it bad. Like, if you were to see this on someone like, what, Murdoch, right? You would see a lot more value out of the skill. Like, any character that is meta, right? If you see this, right, to tackle the Kaji or Clara, it would be insane. But also, it's a bit clunky, too, in addition to that. So I'm gonna keep it here for right now. Definitely needs a rework. I know, Z. I know. Alright, so jump shot pass. Jump shot pass. I like this skill, but I'm curious on what you guys have to say. Well, it's more used for the loose ball chance the way I found it. I do see the rebound aspect, like maybe it's too much for inside tackle. I do see that, but it's definitely something that is support based. Like it's not meant to be used to lose the rebound unless you have no confidence in it or something else or some other reason. But thoughts on a jump shot pass? Any thoughts on it? And if you don't know what it is, I'll show you. Fred has this. Lloyd has this. And there's I think Ox Queen has it too. There's a couple of people who have this. Where's it at? Right here. This is jump shot pass. So there's a bug I've noticed with it. I'm gonna write this as like a side thing also, right? There's a bug with it, right? Where if you press X too much, it also counts for your next shot taken without you having to input X. So for example, right? I'm gonna see if it appears right now, right? But I don't know if they fixed it, I doubt it, but if you press this more than one time, sometimes the next shot that you take is going to be a jump shot pass, whether you want it to or not.
Keep racking up those assists. It's up. Keep racking up those assists. Ain't over till it's over.
Okay, not that time.
Keep hustling straight, racking up those assists.
Not that time. Okay, so maybe they fixed the bug. Okay, maybe they fixed the bug. Or maybe it's on Ox, I don't know, but like... Let's see, what else does the comments say? You think it's balanced? You like the timing? It's just tight to use sometimes. Timing's tight, but it's some... Let's use it often. It's not a good skill, but not a bad one. Can have value. Okay, yeah. I don't think there's any objections to that at all. I think it's fine. Maybe just like... I feel like it's a good fake. I don't think there's much to say about this just yet. Maybe in the future, if I do remake this, I'll have something else to say. Alright, Kill Pass. Thoughts on Kill Pass? What do we think about Kill Pass? I really like this skill. I think if anything, it should be great. Or if not, top of balanced. It does open up a lot of opportunities, especially on characters like Saru. And even Double D if he gets a rebound, but people just run manual block. Like, it's really good. I think it's great. We're going to keep it at top of balance right now. I'm going to rethink what great means. Like, for example, I like the point that Guy brought up, right? There's very little penalty for this, right? Like, this is, like, it's always going to be a net positive. Same thing with hard screen, right? You just get in addition to, like, a regular screen. Yeah, it's very position based, and I think that's what makes it balanced. Alright, lay pass. I think that this is a great skill. I think this is a great skill for the way that it's implemented right now. Anything top of balanced? I don't see no problem with it. Maybe I'll keep it top of balance, but I love this skill. On Nathan, it's fantastic. Rebecca, it could be fantastic if you try to fake the floater, if anything. Like, that's something that I see very little Rebeccas do, where they try to basically hezzy the running floater, and then instead of doing the running floater, they just do a layup pass, That's always an option. Manual layup into a layup pass. Fantastic skill. Any objections to layup pass being balanced? I don't think we have any objections to it, so I'm gonna leave it imbalanced for right now. It's a good skill? Okay. Alright, so manual block. Oh boy. um I have my issues with this skill. I feel like right now it's the game right now that makes this a problem with the ability to stack distance and paired with jump shot block, it's unchecked. And it makes this a fantastic skill. Like it's just it's not necessarily the issue with the skill. It's man, like it's a tough thing because I think everybody here knows what I want. I want manual block to be on everybody and just it being purely jump shot block based. Like I feel like everybody should have manual block, and if you want to utilize the blocking ability in the game, you should spec it to jump shot block. So think about it, right? It should work that way. That way you can risk or not risk. What am I saying? You give up success rate for pizza cars or anything you potentially be running for ice creams, right? For this manual block. I don't know what it is yet, but like there's something here that needs to be done. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's a great skill. I'm gonna leave it at that. Paired with jump shot block, this thing is unchecked. It's unchecked, but that's more of a game issue than it is a blocking thing. What do I think? What do I think? You could block over screens because of manual block and jump shot block, but is it really? Is it? Something needs to be done about this. All right, like something needs to be done about this skill. I'm gonna leave it up here for right now. Something needs to be done. Limit the distance of it somehow. Limit the distance of it. There should be a cap to it, and there should also something with jump shot block. I don't know, man. You know, fuck it. I'm gonna leave it in OP right now. I'm gonna leave it in OP, just for other reasons. All right, manual layup. Manual layup. Honestly, in my opinion, these are one of the skills I think that should be given to a lot of people. A lot of people are saying balanced. Okay, so hear me out on this. All right, hear me out on this. This is just a suggestion. I'm not too crazy about it, right? But you know how they made it to where screen body check was on everybody? I feel like manual layup is one of those things that should be on everybody. Like I don't think it's like a skill that's difficult to learn. You know, like I feel like everyone should just have it. You know, and if you have it, you should get some additional benefits. But yeah, like I don't see what or why anyone can't have it. I feel like a lot of people would benefit from this, if anything. Like hell, like you know how much easier paint offense would be if I had manual layup with Max. Like it's one of those things where it should have just been a universal skill. I'm more upset at the fact that it is a unique skill. Can I change this to let's do purple. Let's do purple for this. All right, should be a universal skill. I know it's getting a little bit out of hand, but it's a lot of skill. But I think manual layup should be a universal skill. Any disagreements? Some of them, right? Some of them should be, but like this one, I think deserves it out of a lot of them. Like this needs to be a universal, or not needs. My fault. It should be considered to be universal, along with manual block. but like I said, there needs to be some adjustments to it. Any disagreements? No? Okay. Massive shot. I hate this skill. I despise it. When the meta for the shot imped shit was there, in the Astro mode, Massive Strike and Massive Shot being unblockable was so cringe. Absolutely cringe to deal with it. I don't think an unblockable skill has a place in this game. I think this absolutely needs to be reworked or removed in some sort of way. Both of these skills are unfair. Just no, bro. No. It should not be unblockable. I don't care how much contest that you need to put on it. This needs to be adjusted. Both of these skills. So I'm gonna leave them there right now. I don't know what the rework would be exactly, but these skills need to be considered to be like adjusted in some way to where it's not unblocked. There's no counterplay to this directly because I mean shit, it won a tournament. That's all I gotta say. Like I don't want to see that ever. Alright, pass during driving. I like this skill. I really do. I think it's balanced. But what do you guys think? OP needs a rework. I'm gonna do Massive Strike there. I think Massive Shot is something. I don't want to say too OP, but it's definitely up there. It's in between needs a rework and OP. Yeah. We'll keep him up there for now. We'll keep him up there. What about pass during driving? Anyone? And as a refresher, just in case anyone doesn't know, pass during driving, Nathan has this along with Ayla, who has this as a passive. I think it's fantastic. It opens up a lot of opportunities, I think. Just simply being able to pass out of the driving is nice. Yeah, Marcel has it too. I like it on Marcel too. You can also do it out of the just in case you guys didn't know. I'll show you right now. In addition to this, real quick. Where's Marcel? Okay, so look. You compare it with a lot of other skills, or I would say a lot of other skills if I knew, or if it was on other characters. But look, Jefferson, why do you gotta be a pain in the ass always? Good, okay, my fault. You can pass it out of that, and I think honestly the fact that they even considered that is fantastic. But yeah, we're gonna keep it at balanced. If you don't know what I just did, it was pairing the shot fake drive or shot fake dash with the pass during drive that she has. All right, I don't think we have any disagreements with it. I'm gonna keep it like towards the high end. I think it's pretty good. All right, pick and move. Yeah, that's what I have right now, bro. I have it on Fox too, like, or Leia Pass, that is. I love this skill so much, man. I do. Like, look at this. Shit. I know it's a bit off topic, but it's fantastic, man. Alright, so anyways, back to the tier list. Pick and move. I like this, but I think the adjustment here would be more distance cards. I think that's the only thing that I'm missing, or like that it's missing. Like I don't really care too much about the speed, but it feels like you're really going nowhere. Like you really need a bit more distance, like for the leveling it up. I like the skill. It just needs that
Keep
kind of
hustling,
adjustment.
ain't over till it's over.
Let me do them the activity so people see. Which it's practice, yeah, practice screen. I think if you hold it and it consumes stamina, just to get more distance, I'd like that more. You know? Like, so imagine, right? If you hold it, you gain more distance. So if anything, it depletes stamina as you hold it. I know I just repeated myself twice, but whatever. But yeah. So I'd say the adjustment here is just more distance with it. So pick and move. I'm gonna keep it like this. Pick and move. Add distance cards. Or let it consume stamina to go a farther distance. I want it to be reworked slightly. Like, just adjust it. Just a tad bit. That's really it. Like I said, right, it just... I think it having more distance cards would be great. Any disagreements with that? Just having, or letting it get more distance as a bit of an adjustment? Anything for this? Or we're just gonna keep it in eh. I'm gonna keep it actually in the adjustment. I think it would definitely benefit from distance. Lloyd has it. Camilla has it. Lulu has it. Lee has it. Who am I missing? Hold on. I know I'm missing like maybe a couple more, right? Let's see. Lee has it. Krista, I believe, has it. Where is it at? No, she doesn't have it. What am I saying? Okay. Screen cut. No. She definitely has it. Lloyd has it. Lulu has it. Yeah, so only a couple people. Okay. Quality of life. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep it in quality of life. Post push. This needs a rework. I think honestly, it was nerfed to the point where it's just useless, and I don't think it was even good, or like I don't think it was healthy for the game to begin with before it was nerfed. This skill is it's very cringe. I remember specific seasons of 3x3 where I or other people would abuse it just in paint strictly just to get a deacon dunk off. This is very annoying. This definitely needs a rework. I have some solutions for this, but I feel like it's a bit too complicated to get into right now. This needs a rework, and that's all I will say. If anything, right now, just have it on the back burner. Maybe get Deacon like illegal box out or something, right? But this shit, no, it wasn't healthy. It just wasn't healthy. Post up dunk needs some. It's bugged. It's bugged. I think it's balanced, but it needs to be what is it? What am I saying? It should also account for the skills that Sienna had. Right, so I'm gonna keep it right here for right now, but I'm gonna show you what I mean by it's bugged. Like I feel like the game understands that it should be working with these other skills like quick post turn, but it doesn't register properly. So if I go to Jefferson, right,
Racking up those solid pass right there.
I don't dunk.
Straight racking up those assists.
And I don't dunk out of that either.
Oh, solid pass right there. Ooh.
That's the only problem I have with it right now.
Pass right there.
But as it stands, right, the way it works currently in game, this is too much of a tell. It's too much of a tell. It's very obvious that you're gonna do it, but if you had the ability to mix in the post up, a quick post up turn, and then the post up fake with it, it would have been way better. That's my only problem with it. You have the camera glitch. So for that, right, I'm just going to say that it needs to be, or the bugs need to be addressed with this skill. So right now it needs to be adjusted because of that. But if it works the way it is right now, I think it's eh. But if you can fix those bugs, I think it'd be okay. Post up fake. I don't know, man. I don't know about this skill. I never find myself using this too much, except on certain characters. And what I mean by that is characters like Blair, right? This is what I do. Since she has quick post turn, right?
Nice pass.
You can shoot out of this. So, for example, I've done this on a lot of last-minute plays. Go for the three-point line to do that. That's the only reason I use it. I don't use it in paint because it's just too obvious. And it's very reactable. I don't know what the issue... Like, I can't put my finger on it exactly, but something needs to be adjusted with this skill. I wouldn't call it balanced. I don't know. It's more on the low end, but it needs to, like, something needs to happen with the skill. So balanced, okay. I'm a bit surprised that a lot of people are actually saying balanced. Why do we think balanced? Feels outdated. Yeah, I think it's eh. Alright, like, I think something could be done to improve the skill. Like, you have people who can block from a distance, too, like. I don't know the adjustment just yet, but I feel like this needs to be looked at also along with crossover. It's eh at the moment. You can chain it with other things, but right now it's very obvious. Alright, so power block I think is fine. Like I think it's fine. Power block doesn't change much other than the ball falling from the ground. Like that's the only thing that power block does. Also, in case you guys don't know, right, I'm not ranking every skill all today because it would be a longer stream. This is going to be a part series. I don't know if it's going to be 2 parts or another 2 parts or another part in addition to this. So a max of 3 total. You know? I don't know yet, but right now this is all the center skills and all of the PF skills clumped together, not including P6. But yeah, power block I think is balanced. Because remember, right, like the whole concept of the skill, right, is supposed to be knocking the ball down to the ground. That's all it does. It doesn't adjust anything. It's just another animation that you get. No, no, no. It's just another animation. If anything, right? If you were to compare distances, I think, like, I'm willing to test this out, right? To clarify, right? But it takes the same time to block with a high jump shot block character and power block from a distance. Just the animation looks different. I don't know if you've ever seen those animations where you do block from a distance with just manual block and jump shot block, but I feel like it covers the same distance and it also is as fast. It just looks like it. I feel like it just looks like it. I'm willing to test this out later on, but it doesn't do much beyond the skill. It's just the animation itself. It's more of an illusion that it gives more height. But I think the ability to slam the ball to the ground is nice, instead of people immediately trying to go for the rebound or it flying directly somewhere else. Well, he has high jump shot block and he's pretty fast too. Like speed also, I believe, like it messes with a lot of things. Like being able to run really fast, manual block distance, all of that. Like it's all because of manual block, I think. It's all because of that. And keep in mind, right? Kaji has level 7 manual block. Like Murdoch doesn't have it, nor does Giant Cheat. Kaji has a shit ton of manual block. It's 4.5 more distance than the original. Like notice right here, level 1 it says manual block distance plus 3 centimeters, right? And right here it says skills 23.5. Look at this shit. Let's go to a character like Jack, right? His manual block is only level 5, and the first thing that shows up is acquired. You don't get extra distance like Kaji does at level 1. And for the attributes, right? You have 19 compared to the 23.5. Alright, anyways. Yeah, I know, right? I know. I'll get to dash steal at some point. Alright, power defense. I like this skill. I think this is fine. I like this skill a lot. If anything, this is a more improved shoulder charge, which we will be also getting into, I think, also. Where is it at? Yeah, it's right here. But yeah. This skill is a better version, and is the improved version, which should be standard for Deacon also, of shoulder charge. So, I don't know if you guys know this, right? But this skill auto-locks. Right, I don't know if you'd count that as being too OP or anything, right? But I'm going to show you right now. In activities. It auto-locks. I'm not going to move my joystick. I'm just going to face up, right? And it's already going to just target the character. I can do it from any angle, right? I'm just pressing triangle and auto-locks for whoever you're marked on. There is no input needed on your end, right? But now when I go to a character like Deacon, right? And I go to activity. Where is it at? Practice.
Uh-oh, they D'ing up. D is gonna be key.
You have input. Like, that's the only difference between these two skills. Let me show you the actual thing on Jefferson.
Now or never, baby.
You see, like, there's manual input here, right?
Game ain't over till it's
So you
over.
can miss. But if I'm on a character like Vandal, right?
Big shot right here.
Can I switch to Vandal, please?
Oh, now that right there could be a game changer.
Alright, so I'm marked on Jefferson, right?
Oh, now that right there.
It auto-locks.
That right there could be
I don't need to do anything.
Wow.
I just stand here, right? And it just charges towards him.
Which way's it gonna go? Big shot right here.
But yeah, I think it's just a more polished shoulder charge. I think it's balanced. It's fantastic. There's nothing wrong. I have no issues with it. It doesn't turn into a loose ball. It either stops the character in place or pushes them a little bit further back. If anything, I'll put this actually on the balanced, top of balanced. Alpha preference. I might put them in order, but right now, like, if you were to ask me, right, is this all in order? Not at all, right? Like, do I think Lamp Pass is better than Power Block? No. Like, this is not in order. Just so everybody knows, this is not in order. This doesn't mean that Manual Block is better than Massive Shot. No, it's just, you know, them being in each spot. Alright, Power Dribble. What do we think about Power Dribble? Thoughts, opinions on Power Dribble? If you don't know what it is, right? It's a thing that knocks you out, knocks you down from a distance. The only way you can counter it right now is, or the only two ways you can counter it is by keeping your distance or standing directly in front of him to bump him immediately. So I don't know where to rate this skill. Let me think. So, considering that it's affected by rage, right? The giant G rage, it gets way faster. I'm gonna set that aside just for the normal skill itself, right? The normal skill itself and its speed. I'll do it one more time in game stuff so you see what I'm talking about, right? Like we're gonna talk about this animation purely. Wait, I don't need Jefferson on the court. That's the animation. Let me think. If it's affected by dry speed, I need to see it a bit faster, but otherwise, I think it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I might adjust this in the future, but right now it's fine. It's just fine. But I don't want to see this on a small. I don't want to see this on a small with a crap ton of drive speed. Fuck no. Don't put this on a small. Power rebound. I like this skill. I love this skill. A rebound with range. I love it. I love it. Fantastic. Fantastic skill. You just can't beat it. I'm sorry. You just can't beat it. Yes. I will provide the link at the end of the video. All right. Um, quick jumper. Let's do. I think quick jumper's fine. I don't really see too many issues with this. Yeah, I don't see too many issues with this. I mean, you could block it from further away, but like that's the balance to it, I think, right? That's what makes it balanced. Like let's just take a look at it one more time, right? Like you can block this fairly easy. Reaction dependent, and you can block from a distance. I don't see no reason why it wouldn't be balanced. All right. Anyways, any disagreements on quick jumper being balanced? Any disagreements at all? Okay. Well, that's Reb and Shoot. I'll get into Reb and Shoot also. Alright, quick post turn. I like this skill, but I'm curious on what other people have to say. I like this skill. I use this on Howl also. I like the animations that you can get with this. And the plays you could make, so I'll show you what I run on Howl real quick. So, I like to pair it with this. So I have Sky Hook Shot and Howl, along with the quick post up turn. Shit. My fault.
Nice pass. Solid pass. Nice pass. Nice pass. Straight racking up those assists. Racking up those assists. Nice pass.
Jefferson, you're just so annoying, man.
Right there. Nice pass.
Why do you gotta shoot the ball? Like, is there any way I could tell not to shoot the fucking ball, bro?
Solid pass right
Why do you gotta shoot the ball?
Nice pass.
Alright, just fucking imagine that I did a quick post-up turn for that, you know? That's what I have. That's why I have it. What's up, Mac? You don't think it's balanced, Weltsy? There has to be some adjustment to Jefferson, but what do we think on quick post-up turn? And that's more of a lag thing, right? Or there's some lag issues, right? But that's just a game thing. That's a game thing. I do, yes. I'll try to perform it one more time if Jefferson doesn't fuck me over. If he fucks me over, then I'm not going to attempt it again.
Straight rack, nice pass.
Something like that. It's just like more of a fake that you can do. Some people get fooled by it. You can also do it from further. I forget, it's not lab range based. Jefferson, please, man. Jefferson, man, you're killing me, bro. You're killing me.
Solid pass right there. Racking up those assists.
Man, like he's just.
Nice pass. Oh, solid pass right there.
You can do something like that. And you can also do the quick post-up turn into a manual layup, which is even better, in my opinion. It's just mainly input. It's not like immediate chain, you know, like other skills, but you can do it. It works well together. You think it's a nice balance skill? Faster? I mean, you can get cards for it, if anything. I'm gonna leave it at balance right now. If anything, you could. I could see the argument for maybe a bit more speed. I can see that. I'm not gonna disagree with you there, but I'm gonna keep it in balance for right now. Alright, quick screen. If you don't know what this is, I don't blame you, but I'll show you what it is. Big Joe has it along with Krista. I had this on Big Joe at some point, but I took it off for touch pass. But yeah, you just set a screen quickly to just, I don't know, interrupt wherever they're going. I think this is fine. I think this is a great skill, or not a great skill, but I think this is a good skill. It's balanced. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. So I'm gonna leave it in balanced. I'm not gonna pair this with other things like. I mean, it was already annoying when I paired it with like slip screen, but like it's fine. All right, not every character needs to have this. This shouldn't be like a universal thing. Like I don't think that's the case for it. I think it's fine. I used to use it on Big Joe, but like honestly, I found more value in Touch Pass at some point, and I might even test out a power post up on him. Like, there's a lot to do with Big Joe. This is not a bad skill. I like it, and I'm just gonna keep it imbalanced. I don't want to say it's eh. Like I think it's fine. I think it's fine. All right, quick turning shot. Um, man, like I don't want to say it's honestly it might be eh. I think I might keep it in. It's very weird. So if you don't know what the skill is, it's different from Luther's. Like this is Luther's, right? Luther's is turning shot. It's not quick. It's turning shot, right? But then Lloyd has quick turning shot. I see the value in it. I do, but it just costs stamina. Like I don't like the fact that it costs stamina.
It's up.
It costs stamina plus it's incredibly inconsistent and you can't do it at a distance. The only reason why you would ever do this is to Hezi
Game ain't
or to
over till
counter a
it's
shadow
over.
block. That's it.
Keep it going, keep it moving. Ain't over till it's over. Uh-oh, which way's it gonna go?
I think it's an S skill that's
Ayo,
kind of
game ain't
inconsistent
over till
also,
it's
I guess,
over.
but like the tiniest bit of contest will fry this skill. This skill will get fried by any sort of contest. And forget it, if you have 1% impediment, I think it'd miss a lot too. So I'm gonna keep it an F for right now. Kind of disappointed, but I do see its uses, but it definitely needs a little bit of an adjustment too. Maybe it would go in slight adjustment then. What do I think? Is it A or is it slight adjustment? I don't know. What do we think? Is that a slight adjustment or is that a rework? Because remember, right, this skill is inconsistent by any sort of contest, and it also consumes stamina. Hmm. Sounds like a slight adjustment. Alright, we'll do slight adjustment for it then. So, for this, we're gonna do quick turning shots. Quick turning shots. No stam cost. Or able to withstand some contest. If someone doesn't jump in front of you, it reduces the success dramatically. That's what I think should be the adjustment. Oh yeah, maybe the distance too. Yeah, maybe the distance. Maybe slightly increase the distance too. I like that. I like that. Alright, so rebound and shoot. I think this needs to be reworked. I don't like this skill. This is a bail in my opinion. This needs to be reworked to where you can block it, or it suffers from the same thing that quick turning shot does. In terms of contest, something needs to be done about this skill. I don't like this skill. My fault for the rankings, but here, like, I think it's too OP. Rebound and shoot. I don't like it. What's up, Logan? It's a bail on Fox. It's a bail on any character that has it. Also, the reaction to it. Some people can't react to how fast it is. Keep that in mind. Paired with power rebound, this thing is ridiculous. This needs to be reworked. And my suggestion for this is to make it blockable or reduce the success rate. Make it be able to be blocked or decrease success. I'm gonna do like a couple of them as flashes here. I don't want to type in or a couple of times. Decrease success or slow the animation. Slow the animation so people can properly contest. Something needs to be done. It gets priority. Any kind of skill like tip in or rebound and shoot, right, has priority on ping. Think about it, right? This thing. Fuck, wait, hold on. So, like, it works in tandem to this. I can't do it now because I don't have the fucking skill, but, like, you can't react to it. You just can't react to it from how fast it is. Power rebound's already a fast animation along with Fox's buff to where he gets more power. It just becomes extremely fast. Oh yeah, limit the range to it also, actually. Limit the range from a 3-point line. Like, it shouldn't be able to be activated at 3-point line. So the animation should work properly to contest. Shouldn't work at 3-point line. I almost forgot about that bullshit. It shouldn't work there. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna leave it in 2 OP. Running pass. I think it needs an adjustment. I've seen a ton of people start I've seen a ton of people try to shoot and accidentally pass. I know a lot of people suffer from that accidentally whenever they first start using this skill. I think it's fine, but it needs to have additional keys pressed so people don't accidentally pass the ball instead of shooting because sometimes you do need to run. Like, you need to run to get distance. And whenever you stop running, right, people can catch up to you. And that's what sucks about it because that little second delay where you think that maybe you stop running, you just pass instead. So I'm just gonna say just button change. That's really it, just button change. For running pass. Yes, I just don't like the key placement. I don't want to accidentally pass. All right, like I can't like I'm not there. I'm not like on Adderall constantly to just like know the millisecond I let go of running, right? Or even to account for that delay. I can't do that. I'm sorry, right? This just needs to be like a little bit adjusted for buttons. Screen body check. I think this is good. I think that this is balanced. I have no issue with it. The fact that it's a universal skill is fantastic too. Any any thoughts on screen body check? Also, I gotta make a note of this, just so I don't seem insane whenever people rewatch this, or if they do rewatch this, right? Like, notes include on-screen live chat, so people understand what I'm talking about when you guys are typing out messages. So I do apologize for that. So I'm gonna keep that imbalanced. I'm gonna keep that imbalanced. All right. Screen pairing. I like this skill. I really do. I think honestly, the only thing that this skill needs to be greater is if maybe a little bit more characters have it, plus some. Let me look at the exact details of this, just so after that I understand it completely, right? Like, so the update that they did where like the screen duration is affected by balance, right? I feel like if you stack balance with this would be a great skill, but it should also give some balance. You know? If this gave balance, this would be great on bigs. So imagine, right? If I had screen parrying on someone like maybe Clark, for example, right? If I have it on Clark and it gives me more balance, right? It gives me more of an ability to deal with Siana. You know? Because remember, right? They did a change to where balance does affect the duration of skills, or I mean, of screens lasting. It affects smalls drastically because they have shit balance and they're stuck on the screen for longer. So that being sort of a way to get balance, I think, is a good change to it. But if anything, I'm fine with it. I think it's balanced. Like it's not like on like the immediate adjustment thing. Like, you know, running past I think is like something that's more problematic than this. Like I can live or without live with or without this giving more balance. You know what? Actually, I'll keep this a side note too. Maybe just screen pairing gives balance, so you can deal with balance based skills easier. I'm gonna keep it here then. I'm gonna keep it here, but otherwise it would be imbalanced. Yes, I agree with you, Z. Like it's supposed to be that way too. Shadow blocking catch. Oh man. So shadow blocking catch, too much. This needs to be reworked. I'm sorry, but this is a dog shit skill. I hate it. I hate it. It encourages bad defense. Low-key, I think the most defensive characters should have it. Kaji, Jack, Lu. As bad as this sounds, but they're defensive characters, they should be better at dodging screens. I don't know though. I feel like it should be on the slightly defensive characters. Like not crazy defensive, right? So what do I mean by slightly defensive? I'm talking about characters like, let's just say Fred, right? Carolina. Carolina has manual block now, right? Fred has manual block. Not great at it, but it would be nice. Maybe Rebecca. She's not a crazy defender, but it would be nice. Maybe even Jessie. Jessie's stuff that she can guard the 3-point line. She's like her passive is 3-point based, anyways, right? So you can contest it even more. Not something as crazy as Jack, who is super defensive. That's like where I draw the line personally. And same thing goes for Luke. Have it for characters that are not hyper defensive, like Monkey, like Murdoch. They shouldn't have it. No. Keep it on characters like Rebecca, Fred, and Carolina, potentially Jessie, and so on and so forth. But yeah, shadow blocking catch, right? Back to that. It is a dog shit skill. This needs a rework. I don't like it. Promotes bad defense, and the court is too small for this to exist. All right. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? If you use this, like, if you rely on this skill, then I don't know, man. Like, it's just terrible. the fact that you're able to catch the ball on top of it is what makes it worse, right? We're only playing at half court. We're playing at half court, and you think that this is a good idea to add. Like, so first of all, right? First of all, it should cost stamina. Or have a chance to catch. While also costing stamina. What's up, KJ? That's what I think should be done to the skill. If you want to read it again, I'll bring it up. But it should cost stamina. Or have a chance to catch the ball while also costing stamina, but not as much. That way there's some counterplay to it. Giant G is super oppressive, as it is, and that skill alone is oppressive. It should cost stamina. How many times, like, from experience, I'm going to ask everybody here, right? How many times from experience have you seen a Giant G guard the three-point line and run into paint and was able to get the shadow block? Oh yeah, the angle adjustment too, because it's not just behind, it's the side too. That's a good point. It needs an angle decrease as well. Way too many times. Angle decrease and distance. I'll do distance too. I don't know how much, but I'll think this over, right? We will have to figure that out. We're gonna have to figure that out later. I don't know too much about it because I haven't really played the game, you know, since I barely even played yesterday on the new player account, so I wouldn't know. Shadow Block suffers from the same thing, where I think it's just too oppressive, and the only thing that I would say for the rework on this, so hold on. Make it based on LP to reduce the cost of stamina. Oh fuck, I forgot to do this. Okay, so rework. Let me do Shadow Block and catch here. I'm so sorry. Shadow Block. Catch. Block will decrease rework, rev and shoot. Rebound. I'll figure out what the last one is, but Shadow Block needs a rework. I don't like it. Distance is too much. So cost stamina, not heavy stamina, just cost stamina. And fix, you know, same thing with the angle distance. Angle and distance. Copy and paste. I just don't like this skill. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like it. It's too small. Exactly, right? Like, I don't want it to promote bad defense. This should be used as, like, a last resort, right? And it should be with its own downsides, right? Why doesn't it cost stamina? Like, think about it in OT scenarios, right? How come this doesn't cost stamina to prevent that? It's just too oppressive. Way too oppressive. If I can't set screens in OT, you shouldn't be able to block from behind in OT. Any disagreements with that? Anyone has any comment for that? Rebound and shoot, I think it should be blockable. I think rebound and shoot should be blockable. It should either be a slower animation so you can contest it properly, and it shouldn't be activatable from the three-point line. That's what I said for rebound and shoot. But anyways, any disagreements for what I said about Shadow Block? I'll highlight one more time. Any disagreements for this? Alright, anyways, I'm gonna move on to shooting touch. I don't have that much to say about shooting touch. I think it's pretty simple and straightforward. I have no comment, honestly. It's just like it's a simple skill. It's like box out. It does its own purpose. It serves its own purpose. It provides additional success rate. That's fine. No issues here, right? Like it's not like I mean it provides additional like hybrid potential for certain characters like Jesse and all that. So I'm gonna leave it here. I don't think we have any issues with shooting touch. I'm gonna leave it in balance. All right, shot fake dash. I like this skill. I really do. I think this is balanced. You can bump them if they play bad. There's, I mean, like there's not much else to say. Like it, if you need a refresher again for what shot fake dash is, I'll show you. It's on Marisol, right? She's currently the only character that has it, but it feels like a improvement to Carter's, in all honesty. And in case you don't know, right, it's literally the same input and the same like concept for Carter's, right? I'll get into this later on. I also have a lot to say to GM Joy about this too. Whenever I do talk with him about this. Like this just feels like it's reinventing an old skill, and to be honest, Carter should have this. But yeah. Anyways, we're talking about Marsols. I think it's balanced. You can counter it, you can bump them, you can punish them for playing bad and using this brain dead. No, it's a completely different skill. I'm gonna get into that too, right? In my opinion, right? If you want to hear me out on this, right? If I can convince Joy to do this, right, is to have a selectable version or include both animations. Because sometimes you do want a wider angle, you know? I don't think having the addition to press, let's just say L1, right, to get the wider version from Carter's. So look how wide Carter turns. It's wide. Now look at Marisol's. It's tighter, right? So if I had the choice to hold L1 to get the wider angle for it, I'd like that. Be a little bit more versatile, you know? So kind of just combine the two skills, but just add an additional input for more distance, horizontally than vertically. You get what I'm saying? Oh, we can't see. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My fault, my fault. My fault. Okay, so look. Look at Carter's one time. You see how wide that is from both sides? Compared to Marsol's? But yeah. What do you guys think about that? Being able to press an additional button to get a wider angle. Any disagreements on that? Or is that too much? Am I tweaked on that? Just feel free to let me know. If so, I would put in a slight adjustment, like quality of life thing. But otherwise, we'll see. What are we thinking here? Would you like it if it was merged into one skill? And you have 4 different options here? Alright, I'll do that then for the slight adjustment. Actually, that's not a slight adjustment. That would be a rework then, right? That would be a rework. But it doesn't need a rework. I'm gonna keep it in adjustment. I'm gonna keep it in adjustment. So yeah, so let's do Shot fake dash. Have the ability to combine, I should say, combine with shot fake drive for additional versatility. Versatility. Am I spazzing out? There you go. Okay, versatility. Press L1. L1 to go more lateral. Harder. Shot. Fake. Try. So yeah. I know, right? I know. But that's my idea for it. So we're gonna keep it in adjustment or rework. I don't really know. But actually let's do rework. Let's do rework. Or slight adjustment and then we'll put Carter's into rework. Alright, so we're approaching the end. Almost here. Shoulder charge. Shoulder charge. This just needs to be power defense. This just needs to be power defense. This skill has been improved upon, right? And I don't see why it's not power defense. You have to put more input. It's clunky. The angle's reduced, and it's not it's not auto locking. Oh, Marcel's is fine. Okay, so we'll do that then. Okay. But yeah, shoulder charge. I think this needs a rework. This thing, it was nerfed. Like, look at this. Like, manual input. Like I said this earlier, right? This requires manual input to work. I see why there's a difference, right? Where it knocks the ball out of the hand, but I wouldn't miss this going, to be honest. I wouldn't miss it. Just make it power defense, and we can call it a day. So, like, why? Like, let's think back to why it was nerfed in the first place, right? It had a wide angle and it dropped the ball, right? The concept of it dropping the ball was a bit too much. So why not just make it power defense to where it's balanced? Do you have any disagreements on that? Any disagreements on it, on this just being power defense? For shoulder charge, anyone? It was, yeah. It was a mixture of a lot of things, man. It was. So I'm gonna have this as like a placeholder, right? So just shoulder charge. All right, so I don't see much disagreement. We're gonna keep this in a rework, and it should just be power defense. Split screen. I think that this is too OP. So this needs to be adjusted. How come I said blocking catch needs a rework? Or needs to be, where's it at? Here? Alright, so if you weren't here for it, right? I said blocking catch needs to be merged with dunk blocking catch. So this is my thought process. And this would benefit characters like Luther, Big Joe, and potentially Fox, Murdoch, right? So blocking catch, right, should be able to be leveled up, and whoever receives the level 7 version of it should get or should have the acquisition of dunk blocking catch. So think of it as like learning a new animation, similar to Clark learning a new dunk, right? See how it says learn short distance dunk? You can choose to learn on characters like Luther, right? Or Big Show, whoever has dunk or blocking catch, right? The default version. Where's it at? At level 7, you can acquire dunk, block, and catch. That was my thought process behind it. Make this just one skill. And you can choose who has dunk, block, and catch. What, like, it's all up to you. It's all up to Joy City to decide. Because personally, it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense to whenever someone does a layup, right? And I can't grab the ball. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I understand, like, the balance there, right? To where if they do a layup, I can't grab it. But it feels like if I'm strong enough to guard it or to block and catch a dunk, I can get a layup. Like, if I can grab this out of a monkey dunking, right? I should be able to take or to grab the ball out of a ginger taking a layup, respectfully. Okay, like I should be able to do that. All right. Anyways, back to the list. Slip screen. It's too OP. I don't think it should hit 2 people. So this needs a rework. Animation shouldn't hit 2 people. Animation shouldn't hit 2 people. And what else? What else can I do? It just shouldn't hit 2 people right now. That's the best thing I can think of, right? But if you were to ask me, right, if I were to solve this right away, what would I do? I would think that if you've played basket trios, tell me if you have, right? There's the ability to set a screen, catch somebody on the screen, and then proceed to use screen cut away. So if anything for slip screen, right? You should catch the defender, and once, like maybe either in the middle of the animation or towards the end of the animation, you're able to dash in a certain direction. Because effectively, that's what it is, right? It's 2 skills combined into 1. But it should just be screen cut. Like, you should be able to just use screen cut off of a regular screen. So imagine this, right? Imagine this. You set a screen, right? You catch somebody, right? And then you're able to do this animation either mid-screen or after the screen is done. You can just dash away instead of hitting 2 people. That's what I think the solution to this skill is, if you want to keep the initial idea of it, of you being able to gain distance after a screen. So I'm gonna keep it at just like this on the burner. It just shouldn't hit 2 people. We all know it's OP. You know what we could do actually? Now that you bring up an interesting point, right? I don't know if this is too much for the devs, right? But so you know how screen parry is a thing, right? Let me go to Marcel real quick, right? So you know how screen parry is a thing? You see this animation? What if there was an animation where like you have to press L1 before you hit with the slip screen, right? And you just avoid it entirely. So make it a reaction thing, right? Like, hey, I'm about to get slip screen, right? I gotta press L1. Make it reactionary so that there is some counterplay to it. Any complaints about that? Like a quick time event, to where you just press L1 to dodge it. So you don't get hit immediately. I'm gonna keep that as a possible rework. Make it a quick time event reaction to avoid the screen. Press L1/LB to avoid. I don't know about the stutter thing, but I think honestly, I think you being able to avoid it somehow is definitely needed. I'll keep that on the burner, right? This is not an actual solution for this, right? This is like a maybe. So maybe. I don't know. But regardless, right, the bottom line is it shouldn't hit two people, right? So let me do this actually. Maybe. But this is what it should do, right? It just shouldn't hit two people. Should not. I'll keep it like that for right now. Okay, so now that we're out of that, spin move. I think I'd say it's between it and balanced. There's too much of a tell. You having to drive is kind of a letdown. Okay, so for spin move, right? Like, this is the animation for it, right? This is just too telling, right? And you can react to this pretty well. If anything, this should just be way faster. I know you can get cards for it, but the cards need to be more effective. No, it's not. It's just a box thing. You can do a fadeaway out of it, or you can do a hook shot. But the animations need to be faster. So the cards need to be more effective. That's what I think, honestly, right? The cards need to be a bit more effective for this to be actually useful. So for spin move, I'm gonna do slight adjustment. I'm gonna do this. Spin move. I'm gonna just put in quotations Fox/Lulu. Cards need to be more effective for speed. So do we have any disagreements with that? Any disagreements with this? Because like that's the only adjustment I would ever want for it. Like it's already telling as is. And it would benefit a lot if the cards were more effective. Because I do have cards for it. Like I have cards for it. I'll show you what it does, just so you understand the difference with these cards. So where is it? So like this is what? A plat, right? Maybe a little bit more than a plat, right? So let's look. It's almost identical in my eyes. Let me switch characters just in case it's bugged. I know the game does that sometimes. Okay, so let me load in, load out. Where's Fox? It's not Fox. It's Max. It looks identical with flats, alright? Like, come on. For how fast people are in this game, this thing could use more effective skills. So, any disagreements with that improvement, or no? Any disagreements? What was the what are the adjustments you're making for box out swim move? You weren't there for that. So the adjustment I was gonna make was that it should be player choice, right? So right here, box out swim move can be activated at will. So instead of you just constantly getting stuck in an animation, you have the ability to choose or press when you want to do the box out swim. That's the change I was gonna make for box out swim. And that's my only issue for Blair, Lulu, and Marsal. I just can't choose when it activates. I feel like that's a pretty easy adjustment, and I feel like it should have been there from the start. Alright, steel counter. Needs a rework. So, I think steel counter needs to be automatic. Very little people have it. Max dash block is it's a passive. This is only skills right now. I'll do a passive tier list once I'm done with this. Yeah, so I didn't want to get into too much detail just yet. Besides, look, I'm ranking 72 skills, right? And we're already 3 hours in. We're 3 hours. Just for 72 skills that are basically for PS and centers. If I were to rank all the skills, it would take more than, just a 3-hour stream. So steel counter, right? I feel like it should auto-activate. It should auto-activate and maybe cost stamina if it auto. Alongside. But yeah, that's steel counter right now. It needs a rework for that. Now, if you were to tell me, right, what's to stop somebody, right, since it's auto-activatable, right, from actually stealing the ball and just keeping you stuck in place? So, how about this? Steel counter activates, hold on, activates, or is active when, or steel counter is active while holding, let's do this, while holding L1 and drains stamina slowly. How about that? So how does that sound, right? So people can't just spam it to where you're just stuck in place. How does that sound? Is active while holding L1 and drain stamina slowly. I feel like that's a very balanced change to it. Auto activates if you're holding L1. L1/LB. How does that sound, guys? So, like, think of it this way, right? Like, just so you can get a visual representation of it, right? Like, right now, if you press L1, you're stuck in place, right? So why not have it to where you're not telling anybody, right? So I can walk around, right? But I just can't do anything, right? And if someone tries to do a dash deal, boom, done. You're just walking around dash deal, boom, right? Auto activates because I'm holding L1, right? And just as representation, just imagine the stamina drain like this every time you hold L1. Maybe identical to sprint or slower. Something like that. A little slower than sprint stamina drain. But yeah, that's how I would balance it. So it can be used more tactically instead of it just being reliant on prediction. Because this would offer a little bit more counterplay towards dash steal, and it would be a more valuable skill to put on other players. It would be a contender for a P6, to be honest. Yep. So, do we like that idea for a rework? Do we like that? Okay, now getting into the last 6 skills. Tippin. So making it I don't want to make it universal. I don't want to do that just yet. I feel like that'd be too much in terms of. I feel like that should be something that's dependent on reaction. So like that is like in a sense a skill, right? Manual layup doesn't take much effort in real life to do it in a direction. Steal counter is like purely reaction based. So I'm gonna base it off that to where it's not universal. Tippin. Tippin is very good. I would say it's a great skill. It could be contested, but it should be blockable. I feel like it should have the animations for the putback like alley-oop to where you can block it. This is another one of those skills where it just needs to be reworked because there's no counter to it. There's no penalty from shooting the half court with someone with good ping. You should be able to block it. Make it blockable. Can I spell, for the love of Christ? How do you spell blockable? Fuck it, you understand what I'm saying. Make it blockable, similar to alley-oop block windows. Or putback. And that's why I'm gonna put maybe slow down putback animations. So that's my solution to Tippin. Are we cool with that? For being in 2 OP and also making it blockable, similar to alley-oop? Okay. Um, toss shot. I think this is it's a great skill. Whoa, backdoor cut. What was that? It's a slight adjustment for backdoor cut. Toss shot should be like, I think it's a great skill. If anything, it's balanced. The reason why I'm saying it should be blocked, Aidens, is because there's so many times where, like, Like in theory, right? What's to stop you from winning a tournament with two people, right? With tipping, and you just shooting half courts. What's to stop you from doing that? There needs to be some counterplay here. I understand they could be contested, but at the same time, like, it's a bit ridiculous. You can buff the success if this is the case, though. Like, you can buff the success. Yeah, I think toss shot is balanced. If you don't know what toss shot is, this is toss shot. It's an extremely fast paint-based skill. It's a solid skill. I don't think there's any issues with it. It keeps you in place. That's the I guess that's the negative about the skill. That you're stuck in place, there's a tell, right? There's some counterplay to it. So you see why I use a screen cut now? So this is the way I play it, right? In case you didn't know you could do this, or you thought about doing it like this, right? Basically for me, right? So let's just say that Jefferson, please hold the ball, Jefferson, right? I do screen cut into a toss shot. That's the idea behind it, or why I selected the P6. To be based around toss shot. And also, right, if you receive the ball with oh my God, Jefferson. Alright, so
solid pass right there. Solid racking up. Nice
hold on.
pass.
I don't have anybody to prove or like to show you this, but basically, right? While holding out the toss shot, right, you can also let go very quickly before you receive the ball to do a touch pass. So there's a lot of versatility here. There's a lot of versatility here if you let go on time. So I think this is a fairly balanced skill since it works well with other skills along with it keeping you in place. I don't see this as a problematic skill at all. So I'm gonna keep it in I'm gonna keep it in balanced. Now, this is another thing. Touch pass is on the verge of universal. It's on the verge. Alright? I want to say this should be standard for every PG, but I also wouldn't mind this being dependent on pass stat for the speed of it. Right? If this is pass speed or like pass stat dependent, so for example, right, if somebody like Luther, right, who has poor pass stat, if this is universal, it wouldn't be as fast as somebody who has it naturally, right, with high pass stat alongside the skill being leveled up, if it's universal. You know? So yeah, I think this should be universal, and the speed should be pass stat dependent. It would encourage some people to maybe spec into pass a bit more, so maybe they can make some other things work with this skill. This offers a little bit more offensive opportunities if it was a pass or universal skill. Yeah, this offers a lot more offensive opportunities if this was a universal skill. Like I would love for my other characters to have it instead of having it to be a skill, you know? So hold on, let me do this. Universal, universal. Where did I put the universal manual layout? All right, I'll just say uni rework. Uni rework. Touch pass. Speed is dependent on pass stat of character. I understand a lot of people have this, but it would be nice to where like, hey man, I see that you're open. You just wanted a pass back. I can give it to you right away. You know? I want to see more of those kinds of team play. All right. Any objections to it being universal? Do I have diving catch on who? Oh no, I think I do have diving catch on the list. Where's it at? Diving catch. It's right here. It's balanced. I think it's power crept, but we're gonna address that later on. We're gonna address that later on. All right, turn fade away. I think it needs a slight adjustment to a rework. So the slight adjustment I would want is for the cards, or for it to be affected by cards. And I bet you're wondering, what do I mean by that, right? So let's go to a character like William, who also has turn fade away, right? Notice how there is no speed here, right? Effectively, right, you have to post up, right? So why not have this be post up speed dependent? So if I have a card like this, where's it at? Post up speed, post up speed. Do I not have it on here? Oh my god, I don't have it. Where is lead? Do I have it on lead? I gotta have it on somebody. I don't have it. Either have it be affected by post-up speed or mid-release speed. And let it give more speed for the animation. Because right now, you can catch up to this shit. Like, this thing is dirt slow. Like, this animation needs to be faster, and it also needs to rely on, or not rely on, but it needs to be affected by release speed. So let me put this on. Do you have another mid-release speed card? I don't, but...
Fade away shot.
You can catch up to that, no problem.
Going for a fadeaway.
Yeah, mid-release speed.
Putting up on the fade.
Yeah, make it mid-release speed. I think we can be in agreement on that. Mid-release speed for it to be faster. So let's put this in. Where was it at? It was up here. Turn around. Fade away. Make release mid slash 3 point relief. Affect the skill speed. There you go. Yeah, this is my main account. I just want it to be a faster skill. I really do, right? Maybe increase the speed also. Also increase speed. I don't know, by 10%, I guess naturally, right? Just increase it a little bit faster. It's too it requires too much for it to work. All right, turning shot. Turning shot, turning shot. What do we think about turning shot before I rank it? What do we think? What are we thinking on this? So for the new player series, right, I created a separate account to start from the very beginning, so everyone understands what people have to go through when starting off while playing the game. You know, I keep my main account separate because, like, how am I going to do a series from a new player perspective if I don't start off from the very beginning? That's why I'm so knowledgeable when it comes to a lot of these things. I just have a lot of experience. I know what, like, how to navigate the game, right? So I wanted to do a perspective just like that, and that's why I have a Joey account too. They're two separate accounts. Don't get them mixed up. Turning shot, it's, I guess you could say Ed, but I think it's fine. It's easier to block, yes, I see it. It's a good hezzy skill, but it's a slight rework, slight adjustment. How so? How would anyone slightly adjust this? I'm a bit curious now. What would we do to this? What would we do to this? Where's Luther?
It's up. Big shot right here. Which way is it gonna go? Which way is it gonna go? Which way is it gonna go? Ain't over till it's over. Uh-oh, which way is it gonna go? Big
Do you think
shot
increasing the
right here.
range would be nice?
It's up. It's up.
Or do you think it's fine the way it is?
Big shot right here. Which way is it gonna go? Keep it going, keep it moving, ain't over till it's over. Keep hustling, ain't over till it's over. It's up. It's up. Game ain't over till it's over. It's up. Oh, it's a big shot right here. It's up. Hey yo, game ain't over till it's over. Hey yo, game ain't over till it's over. Oh, it's a big shot right here.
Oh, you know what I just thought about? I just thought about this. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. What if turning shot worked with post-up fake? Can you do that? Wait, hold on. Am I tweaking? Can you not do that?
Uh-oh, big shot right here.
I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about the fake aspect of it. So make it affect post-up fake to where the initial pump fake, right? After you do that, you can still do a turning shot. So effectively, right, you're doing two turning shots. It's a faster animation for the post-up fake. So like imagine this, right? You're able to get some distance with it. Gain some distance with it, right? You fake it initially, right? But on the second fake, you still do this animation. So it's fast.
Uh-oh, which way is it gonna go?
So imagine fake here. Wait, hold on. My fault. Post the fake here
Is it gonna go?
into another turning shot there.
Uh-oh,
Kind of like that.
shot right here.
So fake. Hold on. Fake.
It's up.
Turning shot.
Hey yo, game ain't over till it's over. It's up.
Fake. Turning shot.
Which way is it gonna go?
Fake.
Uh-oh,
Turning
which
shot.
way is it gonna go?
It'll work like that kind of. Fake.
It's
Turning
up
shot.
right now. Big shot right here.
Fake.
Hey, yo,
Turning shot.
game ain't over
So instead of like this slow animation that you get here.
It's up.
Hold on. My fault. I don't know how to do this shit. You see how slow this is? Like, do you see the difference now? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a bit too slow. But it could be faster if you have it, or if you let it affect both the initial shot and the fake to the other, or to the secondary shot. How do we feel about that?
Oh, it's a big shot right here. Big shot right here.
Wait a minute. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm just sorry. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked from this. Wait, let me see. No, you can't. It's still weird.
Going for a hook shot.
But that's so slow, though.
Going for a hook shot.
That's so slow, man.
Going for a hook shot.
I don't like that.
Hook shot.
I don't like that, man.
Going for a hook shot. Hook shot.
Hold on.
Going for a hook shot.
Man, like sorry, I'm distracted, but that was just too slow. I got sidetracked. All right, anyways. So for a turning shot, I think honestly it should be. Let me see. Rework. Should be affected. It should work with post up fake. After the fake animation. Alright, so I'm gonna make a slight adjustment to the list right now. So if you didn't realize what I was doing, right? I wanted to see, right? If you can post up fake, right? So imagine the fake animation for a layup, and then you can do a hook shot as well. So picture this, right? I'm gonna do this right now.
It's up right now.
Hold on, my fault. But instead of me taking it up, right?
Going for
The
a
second
hook shot.
time, I do a hook shot.
Uh-oh. Big
Fuck,
shot
man.
right here.
So yeah, instead of the second shot, right? I just do a hook shot. So I fake into a hook shot. So turning shot, I will put to slight adjustment. You know what? That's more of a post-up fake then. Like that's a post-up fake rework. Should be chained with other moves. Where is it at? Where the fuck is post-up fake at? Where is it at? Post-up fake, post-up fake, post-up fake. Right here. This needs to be adjusted then. Alright, so yeah, So now we're adjusting post-up fake. Okay, I like that. Okay, so that's the adjustment needed here. That's the missing piece here. It's not just turning shot. It's the post-up fake itself. So okay, so let's do this. Post-up fake should work with turning shot, hook shot, post or no, fadeaway hook shot, fadeaway hook shot. What else am I missing? What other paint-based skills are we missing? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh my god. Does he have post-up fake? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, that sucks. Imagine a post-up fake pass into an alley. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Quick turning shot. What else? Is there anything else that is affected by this? Yeah, Jimmy does have it. Skyhook shot, I think. Nah, I don't know about that actually. Self alley-oop. Hmm. Nah. Okay, so I think we're just gonna limit it to that for right now. So let's just do that. Just limit it to turning shot, maybe skyhook shot. Fuck it. Uh. So wait, hold on. How do we feel about that, right? So let's just imagine Big Dog with post-up fake, right? Real quick. Does he have it? No, he has post push. Alright, anyways, right? So imagine a post-up fake, right? But on the second fake, you can have an alley-oop pass. How does that sound, right? So basically, right, you do the animation for, let's just say, Big Dog had it, right? You know, post-up fake. And after
Which way
this,
is it gonna go?
after the second one, you could just give it to somebody to done. How does that sound? I'm gonna leave it at that for right now, actually. I'm gonna leave it like this. Post-up fake needs a rework. I think it's that simple. Let's do upper steel. I think that this is fine. If anything, it's a great skill. Yeah, I think upper steel's a great skill. I don't think. Do we have any objections with that? Any objections? If you don't know what this does, or if you haven't seen it, I'll show you right now. Like, look at this, right? I think this is great. I think this is a fantastic skill. It gives out more paint defense for bigs. since it's only big to have this, right? And it also scales with steel speed, and all that nonsense. I think this is a great skill. Any disagreements on that? It's a good skill. Okay. So let's go back to the tier list, and I think that's all of it right now. I think it's a great skill. Are we satisfied with the list? Is everybody satisfied with the list? Any objections? Any questions before I end stream? I'm also gonna do this just in case you guys don't know. Where are you guys at? So if you guys don't know, I'm doing a dev talk, or not a dev talk, but a GM talk with GM Joy, right? On Saturday, 6 p.m. EST. If you want, you can tune into that. We'll be addressing some issues. I have it listed in the post exactly what we will be talking about, and yeah, you can comment on it or whatever. I'm gonna see if we can make it more of a reoccurring thing with GM Joy, so we can maybe start fixing the game if possible. GM Joy is someone who is employed by Joy City themselves. He would be the one to relay messages to to Joy City. He's like a company representative, I would say. So like he reports to I think his project manager, right, and also has the direct talk with the devs themselves and how they develop the game. Okay, let's see. You have a question about Manual Block. What is the rework? That's a good question. Light Pass is a great skill call, but balance is fine too. Think about SGs with max speed, V cut, handoff, pick and roll anywhere you need. I like to play as well, too. Alright, what is the rework with Manual Block? It should be limited in distance. And it also should be given to everybody. Like, it needs to be reworked in the sense of where it's not as effective, or like the distance of each block isn't as crazy. Like, I'm gonna ask you this question to anybody can answer this too, right? Do you find it a bit silly how far Kaji, Giant Chi, and a lot of the Manual Block characters can block you from? Like, that distance is insane, especially from a lot of the quote-unquote competitive players, or the meta users, right? Do you see a problem with that? Because I do. If it ever gets to that point, bro, we've also thought about that. We were thinking about including a native Korean speaker, I believe, in these talks, so nothing is lost through translation. So maybe it could be a bit more clear for GM Joy, if possible. You know, we want to make sure that our points are addressed as clearly as possible. All right. Anyways, right. I think that wraps it up, right? So yeah, I might like I don't know yet, right? I don't know yet, but I might be able to cover the rest of the skills tomorrow or after the talk on Saturday. So maybe around Sunday to Monday latest. Okay? So if anything, right, like latest and more of a guarantee that this will happen on Monday, okay? for the part 2, and then if there's a part 3, I'll decide on when that will happen. All right, so this is not the complete tier list just yet. Just wait a little bit longer, and I'll get all the SFs, PGs, and SGs included in this list in all their skills. Okay, and then after that, we'll do the passives. I'm gonna send the link when it's complete. All right. I'm gonna send the link once I have every skill in here. We're reviewing manual block as a whole and how it impacts the game, right? Like it's just unfair that you can do so much with it. So like this just applies to everybody right here. It's just crazy regardless. Alright, anyways, like I said, I will release the link once I have completed this list. Alright? I'm sorry if I misled you earlier on, if you guys were waiting for the link, but I think it's only fair if I finish the tier list and then release the link. Okay? With all the skills. Anyways, I will see you. Thank you guys. If you haven't leave a like, please leave a like. I had a question earlier. When I'm in your lineup with somebody, they should add a shoot round feature to be able to practice with this as well. Sean, that is for another live stream. No problem, bro. Like I said, I want to change the game. I want to have some say. I'm only giving it to the end of this year, but I will still make an effort to push out content that is constructive for the game and a bit more healthy, because I don't see that enough on YouTube. All right, I'll see you guys.